Hey, we are here live on
what's
Built
up,
from
guys?
Bricks and had a very special guest here waiting in behind the scenes to chat about Lego Masters, and
We're very excited to have him with us. He is part of the new cast on Lego Masters Season 2. And
he is. And so he's here. Let me bring him right in right now. Sorry, I'm getting the comments back up here in case people join. And let's bring Moto into the show.
all right.
Hello, Moto.
I'm still dancing that intro music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah, I made that a few minutes ago. It's pretty good.
It was longer, and then I ended up clipping it to make it a little shorter. And
Yeah, I'll have to update that sometime.
Cool. I'm
I think it's updated.
How are you guys?
Lego Six. How are you guys? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm a Nine Inch Nails fan. I like Transformers, so the shirts are all working for me. So this is a good start.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And
And I see your shirt there, and it says Ship and Snot and Mock
and A-fold.
So, what is Ship actually?
Oh yeah, stumped you out right off the go. Okay, significantly
Right.
huge investment in parts or pieces, depending on who you are.
All
So-
right. Okay.
I love building spaceships. So Ship Timbers, where you build a spaceship that's 100 studs in length or more, all within the month from beginning to end, and you
Okay.
post it online.
Nice.
And we all know studs not on top. We all know
course.
Yeah.
creation, and we all know the adult fan of Lego.
Of
Yes.
course. I just actually have never heard the Ship one, but my wife would probably agree very much about that. If you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see her on the studio here.
That's cool.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on over here.
So unlike us, Steve and I actually auditioned for the show and made it to the final casting, and that's where we were cut.
Well,
I don't know how many people knew that. And Moto here made it on the show, so
yeah, so it's really awesome.
I applied.
You applied.
And I did audition things, and there were things that I did, and then yes, I wound up being on the show.
Yes, that's
as
awesome.
as evidenced by the airing. I was like,
Yeah.
hey, there's that dude running
There's
around.
that guy. We know him. He's got that long hair.
There's that guy
that coat, you know.
making the robots, having heads fly off.
yeah.
Yes, we've seen that. What were you thinking? Like when things were like falling off. Like, did that become like really stressful for you?
Yeah, they didn't even show how many times it fell.
Really?
But I mean,
I saw at least
I think
3.
like 2 or 3.
so one of the things among the Lego YouTube community is I do an interview and I have a mock that's in progress or something, and I pick it up and I show it, and inevitably, every once in a while, far too common, I drop it or it breaks or explodes or blows apart.
Yeah.
And it's affectionately starting to become pulling a moto when you like pick something up and it just destroys. So
we'll start using that term around here when things
pulling a
start
moto.
exploding.
Oh man, yeah. So first episode, the bitter irony of pulling a moto and having them include it. No, it wasn't that bad. Like when it fell, it's like lost an eye. Okay, it's what's worse is trying to get it to work, not reassembling it on the fly. I mean, any mock builder who breaks something can get it together pretty quickly. But having the entire thing self-destruct or implode is bad. Now, fortunately, that was not toward the end.
Yeah, that's good. So you had some time to rebound.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was really concerned toward the end when that thing rounded the corner. You could see us
go around the corner and the head just falls off.
See us like, uh-oh.
It's like a nightmare.
Someone's going home. This thing better stay intact.
Yeah. I had a feeling that I won't give any spoilers away because maybe some people haven't seen the first episode. So I just remember in the first season something similar where they were all worried about you had to have a moving part, and then obviously things can work up until the last second, and maybe they did, maybe they didn't. So that was something that I was picturing when you said that the stuff coming around the corner, is it gonna work for me? And
yeah. Now, did you have like any things that like you had to like change like that? Like you had planned that you were gonna like build it doing certain things, and like you weren't able to get it in the time frame.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Brickmasters are always on point. Their advice is sound, and it's like they see the future because they're. It's like, I really think you guys should simplify. It's like,
gotta listen to that.
So, and I noticed that
to the judges because,
they know.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna look and be like, "Who are you to judge?" Oh yeah, right. That's your title.
That's it. That's it. That's their job. They know what they're talking about.
They know what they're doing, but also they are there to judge. And you it happens. I think that someone can ignore it because they have the vision, they can pull it off, but it's pretty rare. And they see all and know all. They've done this before, and of course it's their job. I mean, they oversee entire teams of set designers. So
yeah, they got a little bit of experience.
It's like the set designers are pretty good at what they do.
Yeah, maybe.
If your job is to give feedback to set designers, can you imagine it's just like some
Right.
We're amateurs. I mean, we're really good amateurs, but we're not set designers.
Yeah.
I mean, take the feedback and run with it.
And what's interesting is watching last season and watching this season, even still, where Jamie will come over and give a recommendation, and the teams don't listen to it. Like, you're doing a parade float. Make sure that there's something you can see that's up high, and that type of thing. Or in the first season, I believe with I want to say it was Manny and his dad. Sorry, Manny, but it doesn't go all the way around, and they didn't actually fix it, and so they criticized them on that because it wasn't a complete, like, it didn't make a ride. It was just like,
and I can't blame them. I mean, the truth of the matter is, Clockosaurus is winding down inevitably. The red eye of Clockosaurus is constantly winding down. And your time, and you kind of know if you can pull it off or not.
Yeah.
And sometimes the feedback just is not achievable, and you kind of got to make your best go at it. But if you're unable to close that gap, then you're just like, oh God, I'm going to be up there.
Got to try to compromise and make some concessions where you can,
sweating it. Hopefully, the advice isn't too deep into the process to not reverse it out.
Yeah.
And how was that with so, like, you get Will walking around for his goofy comments and everything for the comic relief, but how was it like on the set, like behind the stuff we don't see, if you can mention
if you can't mention anything,
just like what is it like? What is Will Arnett like, or is it more?
I mean, kind of like on the set when we're not like. I'm just curious if is he walking around the whole time, or is he just doing those little cameo things and then he doesn't do any like?
Oh no! I mean, everybody's working. Yeah. Everybody's working now. No, is he like present and you can see him? Yeah, most of the time he's there. Okay. There's times he's not, but it's probably because there's
nothing really happening.
No, it's not like there's nothing happening. They've got all these other things to do. Like, I didn't see any brick tips because it's such a packed episode with all 12 teams early on. But if they're going to start doing brick tips, they've got to go shoot that stuff, and they're going to disappear and do it, or even if they're not physically doing their things because they have so much they have to do, they do have the ability to understand what's happening and get informed at all times, because if there's a crucial moment coming up with a build, you're not going to not be there.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
You're not going to want to not see that moment when someone's putting something incredible together and there's this make or break moment of assembly or something.
You make a good point.
They're attentive. They're not.
Oh, that's good.
It's almost like they poured millions of dollars into something. They got almost stuff. They're on it. They know what's going on.
Now
twins. Winning LEGOMasters.
Whoa, what happened there?
Hold on. Technical difficulties.
I don't know what I just did.
I think I think he's got the episode in the background playing. Hold on.
There we go. Sorry about that.
We were just reviewing.
Here comes the takedowns. No.
Yeah. No, we were just reviewing the episode before we came on.
Well, it's good. So you guys are doing research and you're watching the show, and you're obsessive. You're not obsessively watching it like me, like already 3 times.
No, but there
I have to refresh my memory because it's this has been it's a long haul, and then it's been a long time, so it's almost like
probably everything.
Also, for me to see everything during the build process, I'm so zoned into the table.
Oh, I could imagine.
I had no clue about all that other stuff with Lauren and Brian, and I heard a lot of laughter, and then I looked up, but other than that, it's like you can't let distractions get in the way.
No, I know. Brian always gets at me, like whenever we're on the show or something like that and we're building, I'm very quiet and I'm into it. And then he's like, you gotta talk more. I'm like, but I'm into it. I'm building, And,
and I don't shut up. So it's,
so I'm the one that gets into the zone,
Yeah, I'm the quiet guy. Paras definitely is the talker. He had a lot going on. So that was nice to have someone who is at least, saying something, or
Yeah.
there's parts where there's stretches where you just machine it out, and you try to get your highlights in, you try to get the discussions in, and maybe it'll get put on air, maybe it won't, but yeah, there's long moments of just intense concentration.
So you watched the first episode 3 times or so.
Maybe more, I don't know, I've lost track.
You have, from an outsider's perspective, because obviously who is from all that we know so far, what we've seen so far, who did you like if you're watching the first episode, besides yourself? Is there another team that you thought was, what I really like their technique or their build or style? Or
I liked all of them, and the ones that they called out for being in the top, I think were well deserved.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not like you're taking personal notes when you're there. I mean, when
of
the
course
is finally done, you get to walk around and see the stuff in person.
Yeah.
Now
you're probably not paying attention to anything else going on.
you check in.
Yeah.
It's good to look around and go uh-oh, we're at the bottom, or hey, we're in the middle, or yay, I think we're going to take it, or whatever, because you got to adjust course as things are going up around you.
Yes.
But the dragons were coming up to my left. On the right was the hot dog and pizzas. So, I had Wayne and Zach left. I had Richard, Dave right. And being between those two, I was like, oh, God.
That's all I could pressure's on.
It's like, man, we got to go.
Yeah.
Except for, a little bit of, fun banter. It was mostly just building. I think it was Dave. Yeah, it was Dave. I heard him say, you don't put ketchup on hot dog. I heard that line when I was building.
Yeah, I have a few friends that would say that.
Yeah. And then they walk, the camera's kind of reset or whatever. And I go, I put ketchup on my hot dog, man. What's wrong with you? He's
well, he's a hot dog purist, I guess. He's a purist.
No. Everybody eats hot dogs differently, but there's a lot of little humor like that. There's nothing like, I think you're horrible. No, we're all one big family, and we're all builders. And the play well is the brand. So you're playing well, and you're working with each other.
That's good. That's good to hear.
And I find that amazing of that is that you said you're all family. In the Lego community, you said you haven't been to many brick fairs or events or anything, but the people that you meet there, and then last season when I did some shows with Manny and with Sam and with Boone. Boone I knew from before, and I knew Mel and Jermaine from a show. But you I've talked to Manny a couple times, and it feels like you become friends. It seems really easy to become friendly and be part of that community, and just somebody feels like you know them.
Especially when they're the only faces you see.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. So there's COVID protocols for our production, right?
Oh yeah, right.
So you go out there. There's isolation protocol first of all in place. So that the cast is there, but you can't really see them, or you might get a glance and say, "Man, do I recognize that person?" Or, and then as things start to head in, and you get past the right date, you're still completely masked up.
Yeah.
And then when you're not on set, you've got your layer protection, and then when you go on set, you got double layer protection. The crew is all masked, layered up. So everybody, you learn everybody like this.
Yeah.
I know that.
The only time you see someone's face is when the cameras are hot and ready to go, and then they come and gather all the PPE equipment and start taking it.
Okay.
And then they're counting it down. 3, 2, 1, go.
But we were curious
because of that. The cast members are the only people whose faces you know. So that's insane.
Yeah, because you probably have no idea what anybody else looks like, other than
Well, you have an idea what they look like with girth.
Yeah.
I know the feeling. I work at a school, and then there's some people and kids and some teachers that are new, and I had never seen their full face unless they saw them on Zoom. Actually, it's the first time we get to a Zoom meeting. Oh, that's what they actually look like. Because
I'm going to start crawling through IMDb to see, to see what some of these folks look like without the mask that we got to know really well.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd probably be interesting.
Yeah, but that's one thing. The other thing is, once you're in your bubble, you can't break it. Really hardcore rules, like you can't leave you can't really leave the grounds of where you're staying. You know, if food is delivered, you couldn't go out to meet the person. They had to bring it in and drop it off and then go, and then you can pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, even the vehicles had PPE in them, and the way they zoned the vehicles for transport was pretty incredible.
Wow.
So
that sounds interesting. Yeah.
I mean, the only people you really talk to and get to know, you know, are the cast, and because of that, you know, you're just trying. You're there all day and all night. You get to know each other very well, so it's really cool.
Yeah. So that part of it was good because you got to be a little, you know, get more intimate knowledge of everybody. But now that we're coming out of all of this, you know, slowly and happily,
it's
a lot more exciting to get out there, start doing Lego shows, fairs.
I'll rewind it. You know, this last year has been really nuts. So you know, like you said, I the only conventions I ever attend are local to the Denver market. So we had I just blanked. Brickfest Live, Denver.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, as a traveling convention.
Yeah.
And then we do local other toy shows or things that, you know, our lug is always attending those, or pop culture conventions, Comic-Cons in the common terminology, don't get sued. You know, we attend those in the Denver area. We show stuff. And I was going to go, so people had said, "Oh, you're an incredible builder. No one's seen your work. You need to go to Chicago." So I had, you know, bought the tickets, made all the plans, and then the lockdown occurred. And then from there, the way I got to know everybody was because everybody started pushing to streams. You know, this format was the replacement. And I joined, you know, I was on live streams. I had just been doing it casually just to get to know other people. And all of a sudden, all the Lego Masters start rolling through these streams, and they just happened to see what I was building. And that's how we started I got to become friends with the cast of season 1 and got to start to know them. And then from there, you know, applying and then going through the process. And now it's really weird to have this compressed amount of time to where, you know, I was relatively unknown and then became like this YouTube streaming personality and then went on to the show. So it all just like kind of went like exploded upwards. You know, and it was things like the Wolf's Head that people.
I've seen that before. Like that's crazy. Yeah, so, I had no idea that you had built that, but I've seen that online before.
Yeah, Lego shared this one on their social media accounts, which suddenly, you know, crushed my profile and all destroyed my phone and all that stuff happens.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
I show up and nobody really knows each other. They're all amazing LFOLs, but the community is so broad and in different pockets of existence and knowledge. That, you know. We're like, can we see your work? You know, checks your stuff out. It's like, oh man, this is really cool. And like, you know, it comes around to my turn. I'm like, oh, you know, I did this wolf head, and they're all like, oh yeah, you're the wolf guy. It's the wolf guy. Okay, now we know who you are. You're the wolf guy.
You and I was seeing you had posted one, your balloon, your exploding balloon. So you,
it's right over here.
Did it explode?
It ripped out. Yeah, twice. I've dropped it twice. Completely, utterly blew it to pieces.
It's just go ahead.
Yeah, it just the first time was just me at home. Or no, wait, did I drop it on camera twice? I did. I pulled a Moto twice, I think, if I'm remembering. But no, I work on it, I build it, and then I'm like, okay, here it is. Let's try it out. And sure enough, the top, I had added so much extra weight. It was working fine. And it was like, this is bulletproof. This will work great. I was going to be impressed. Nope. So now I came back and I just reinforced the heck out of it. I won't. Well, I don't know. Should I hold it up? No.
You should.
I'll hold it sideways.
Is that a Pink Bucket Nation in there in the back?
Whoa.
It is. I'm part of the Pink Bucket Nation. I join every Sunday.
Yeah. Right.
Nice with Julian.
Yeah. With Julian. Yeah.
That is a lot bigger than I thought. Wow.
That's insane.
So that's a lot. Yeah, that's one of the effects of my builds is they're kind of very I don't know, they're kind of simple in concept, and then when someone actually sees the size in person, they're kind of like, oh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sorry, I'm trying to stand back so you can get the.
No, we see it. Wow, that's awesome.
His technique, like your style, the type of building you're doing with the wolf head and the balloon is just something that I haven't seen a lot of.
No, it's very rare. So Riley from Brick Science, he taught me that technique. He calls it polytexture, and
Okay,
it uses. Well, I'll show you. It's just easier to show.
learning something here.
All right. Oh, I'm
The wolf
excited.
head, that thing, and that's big too.
Yeah,
Wow.
this thing's a monster.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so you just use wedge plates and you use
Yep.
toe ball mixel joints, okay, to
Ah.
lock them together.
Oh
But
my
that-
god,
Yeah.
that's impressive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You could probably figure something
That
like that,
looks like
Steve. But
something I would love to do. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can see that you put the mixel joint
Tons of-
in. You
yep.
have to lift it off by one plate, and then you double reinforce it to stud lock it really well in place.
I can see what you're saying there. Yeah,
Yeah, but
Wow.
it just eats mixels for lunch.
I was just
And
gonna
then-
say you're buying
I
up
could
all the
only-
mixel joints.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got a major container of just mixel joints for this type of building, because people are so impressed with the wolf. You know, I've kind of pressed on with it. So
Oh no,
there you go.
Uh-oh.
he doesn't get upset.
Yeah, see, that's gonna. Don't worry, that's maybe 15 or 30 minutes.
All right. It was just the
And I
air.
just
but
realized. I'm sorry, I have to check something out.
No
See,
worries.
we made him pull his own moto there. Like,
I pulled my own Moto, but I also noticed that I've got a water leak in my basement right now. So just give me a moment.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Take
yeah.
your time, buddy.
stand by, folks. Not as many. I know some people came in and out, but brother from another.
This isn't good. If this keeps spreading, I might have to
That's quite fine.
pause and see if there's a pipe that broke. I'm hoping that maybe a water bottle just leaking in the fridge and it's just a little thing, but
Yep.
that would be not good. That would be a FEMA type emergency happening in real time. But anyway, yeah, just let me get these pieces off the floor.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
She left.
Hey, take your time.
If
No
you
rush.
want, I can hide you from the stream while you clean it up.
it's all
Too.
good. I'm done.
All right. All right.
Here we go.
Getting live action.
Yeah, but so this is a good example. Actually, it's kind of cool. It broke. So you can get a good idea of what's
Okay.
going on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh
By,
wow. Yeah, that's.
by just seeing how you can eventually weld stuff together.
Yes, yes.
Notice
Or
that
you
term
get-
you used
you
to
get some-
welding.
You get some concoctions going on where the plates all start to stack as you offset and try to work out the math.
Yes, yes.
But you can't use Bricklink Studio or any CAD when you build this way. You have to do it by hand
yeah.
because the CAD can't handle all the compound angles
No.
and the
No,
way they'll fit together. So I've gotten asked about instructions. It's like it's not even possible. There's no
It's
physical way
impossible.
to
Yeah.
start with CAD to even represent it.
Yeah, and I mean I have enough trouble doing studio with just simpler stuff than that. I know like
Yeah,
you're trying to put a door like or something at a weird angle and
it
it
looks
gives
so sad without the ear. I'll fix that tonight. It looks.
You'll be-
oh, poor wolf.
You'll be fixing that later, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not a big deal.
See, he didn't get upset. I would have been saying some expletives at that point when I found him.
I'm telling you, every stream, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never
Something
dropped a
happened.
wolf before. I'm thinking in my head, and then sure enough, I slapped the stupid ear right off.
See what I made him.
Yeah.
It's my fault. I made him. He picked it up to
Yeah.
show us to
It's
show
my
everybody.
fault. I'm the one. You didn't make me do anything. I just I
Yeah.
offered.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
And-
Oh
and it
yeah.
kinda goes
Back
with
to
parts.
questions.
No, it goes with parts, right? Now,
Okay.
on the show, I know that they put like, what was it, like 2 million more or something?
5 million
parts?
total parts.
Yeah,
he said,
so-
Yes. 2 million
How-
more. 2
How
million
was
more.
the selection? Because I'm very curious of like, were you able to find everything that you wanted to use?
Well-
Did you feel limited at all?
Having it and then finding it are two different things. my friend.
Yes, I can imagine. Oh my God. Yeah.
No, I mean, so it's laid out really well. If any of you guys are familiar with the Bricklink catalog, oh yes, now we can get the wide angle. That's
I
Yeah,
just
there we
realized. I
go.
just realized. Why do I have this on this like skinny view here? I wasn't paying
I
attention.
got space to breathe now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yeah,
about-
the brick pit, we did have more elements. We did have different elements. The first thing I noticed was the new dots tiles
Okay.
were
yeah.
stocked in the pit.
Okay.
So of course that element wasn't even available for season 1. It hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
It hadn't been released. So that was new. The Monkey Kid drum lacquered gold dishes wound up being used on the dragons. If you look close to the flying dragons, those dishes are on there.
I saw that.
Yeah, we've seen that.
In fact, the eyes of the robots, I used that inversion technique to do the eyes of our robots. So those are right away. Those are new elements that weren't even available because they weren't made yet. In our pit. But yeah, it was. I think they stocked it really well. Now the thing with the brick pit is it has everything you'd expect. Like I call it all the basics are covered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's basic brick that goes on for days, and then on the left-hand side, you start. So on the top, the big bins on top of the pit are all the larger brick elements as they start to go up from, the big circular domes. They call them satellites, 2x2s, 2x3s, 2x4s. Then it starts to migrate, 2x6, 8, whatever, are all up on the top bins. And then as you look at the drawer container systems, left to right, it starts kind of like you'd intuitively think. It starts with plates in different sizes, wedge plates, and then it starts to migrate and sweep into tiles, and so on and so forth, until it wraps around, and then you start to get into Technic elements and base plates hidden on the staircase, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Now you won't find like the really crazy obscure pieces. Like I love cool parts and I go out and I get them because all my belts have just these crazy weird parts in them, and I didn't expect that to be there, and you can't get there. So I'd say think of it as like it's deep. It's very deep. It's not super wide.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, if you look at it like a lake, it's not Lake Superior. It's just, it's a lake, but all of a sudden you realize that it's a crater lake. It just like goes deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deep.
Now, was there ever
I love that.
was there ever a time when like you went to go get a piece and somebody took all the pieces, or was that not even a thing? There was enough of stock for everybody.
No, it happens. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So there are, that is possible. You have 12 teams, especially for certain challenges. There's some elements that are going to work really well for a specific challenge.
Yeah.
This one was very general. But still, it was like, I was going after bright colors and a couple other folks were too, right?
Yeah.
Now, there is a kindness policy, I would say, that if you deplete an entire element down out of the pit, you leave always one behind.
Okay. Because that one will help.
Well, no, because the stalkers, otherwise they don't know what.
They won't know. Yes. No. All right.
They won't know what bin to put it back into.
That's funny.
Hey, you're out. I just ran you out of this. You got to go get it.
That makes sense.
And they'll be like, okay. If it's completely empty, they'll be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look it up, and that costs you time. It hurts yourself.
No.
Okay.
So no, it's like always grab the amount you think you need plus a little bit, but always leave a handful behind. Because someone might just need 2 or 3 or 6, but if you're super desperate, then at least take it down to one. And then you communicate and inform with the crew that's working the pit to constantly, bring like it has depth, right? So it constantly is getting refreshed and refreshed and refreshed. But there are times, you can like you liked this technique in your head, and then you go and you realize, I was thinking of doing, I need the bottom of a jaw and I want an inverse slope, and they don't have it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take the clip hinge and I'm going to invert it and use a positive slope. You just do that on the fly naturally because you have to adopt and adjust.
You got to pivot. Definitely, for sure.
It's very MacGyver. You can't be, if you're someone who gets rattled because you have, your list of things and there's no substitute for getting the same effect.
Yeah.
It's going to get really scary really quick.
You need to make that thing.
That reminds me almost of, and I know we can't mention too much about it, but in the auditioning process, when there's a bunch of bricks that they had you build with, and they're all basic bricks, and they want you to build certain technique, you have to figure out a way to build it. Yeah. I'm trying to be very vague here because I don't know what I can say about that.
But
no, and that's why they do it. Because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happens all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
They
part
want
of
to
the-
see your
it's every
skill
team
and
does that.
ability.
You need to adjust on the fly and communicate and really keep track of the inventory. And
Yeah.
yeah, you can go to the bins and you can see what's running down quickly. I mean, it's not like you're, you go to a container, you're like, uh-oh.
Did they so I had another
It's like,
question.
I guess my robot body's gonna be red now. It's not gonna be purple.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
what do you do when you have that kind of teal color you were using, and then there's no more of it? Like, do you switch midstream?
Like medium azure.
Yeah.
No, that's part of the logistics. Or, I don't know what goes through people's heads. It's hard to know.
Yeah.
But I very much would look. I knew what shape I had to build, so I would then go and I knew, I took color theory in art school, so I know my colors pretty well and what's complementary and stuff like that. But you go up, and I immediately scanned. Like if I was using plates, I very quickly scanned. I went like this, pulled it really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was talking to myself. I'm like 4x6, 2x8. And while I'm doing that, it's like poker. You're counting cards.
Yeah.
You're adding all the colors in. And I went, okay, medium azure has got coverage here in this particular type of section. So I'm going to go with medium azure because I know that it has all the different types that I'm eventually probably going to need. So I'm doing that color.
Yeah.
Whereas if I saw something that had, really good colors, but it was missing spotty here or there.
Yeah.
I tried to stay away from it very quickly.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you have all different types of parts in that color, I'd imagine, because it could get real tricky.
That's just during the very early stages when it's like go and you talk through what you're going to build, which is really tough to come up with a story. And then after that, when it's time to build, it's like, okay, that's why I think, you called it the medium azure. That was just one thing.
Yeah.
That I mean, it's coming back to me slowly. It's been a while, but that was the one color I noticed that, it's got all of these plates and these different sizes as well as some wedges. I can work, I can do this. I can work with
Yes.
And then the ones that weren't as well stocked, you transition and use those as the highlights, right? On top of the azure.
Gotcha. Yep.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh, by the way, we had a lot of friendly colors. So thank you guys, because I'm a friendly builder, and having the dots in there, having the bright friendly colors to really take these things and their color palettes and extend them out and make them bright on camera was just a huge day one benefit for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's true, that the LEGOMasters, the judges, they like those bright colors because something that pop. And I remember even in season 1 when Boone had like their restaurant building, the shop building, where there was like these pops of color, and that's what stood out. And like for me, I end up always building a lot of like natural looking stuff, or like animal stuff, and so it ends up being like more earthly colors, which wouldn't pop. So I've been trying to add more color and to add like.
I'm the opposite. I like things very bright, but I'm an artist and stuff myself, so like.
Yeah, I noticed in season 1 they were achieving it with color complements, but they were sticking to basic palette. But on ours, like you said, that those 2 million extra pieces gave you breadth within color areas, and that really was cool to see.
Yeah.
So and there was I have a little, and I don't know if I'll get yelled at.
Thanks to Mark Cruikshank for pointing that out, because I didn't pick up on that. He did.
Yeah.
He's like, I was rewatching the show, and you guys had all these amazing colors. We didn't get those.
Yeah.
Didn't even notice. Just assumed you did.
Like that. Now, as I'm gonna go back a little bit, and this is more about you rather than the show.
Okay.
What kind of brought you into building Lego to begin with? Like, have you always been doing Lego, or
no,
any of it?
No, not at all. So I built Lego with my brother in the 80s, late 70s into mid 80s, and then went to the dark ages.
Okay.
And then I started building Lego again 5 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, if I went to my Instagram, I've got the exact dates, so I can remember, because I can't remember things.
Yes.
Awesome.
But no, Uncle Dan sent Small Art Director a Lego set as a gift, and he put it together and really liked it. And I was like, oh, he's not eating the pieces. He's finally old enough to like do Lego. It's finally safe. And from there, I I love Lego. So I was like, do you like Lego? He's like, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I started to restore sets because I'm cheap and I love thrift stores. So
Okay.
I would get these big tumbled lots of thrift store sets and then I'd restore them by reverse engineer. You look up the license plate on any town thing and it tells you the set number right there. Or
Yep.
you lift up the chunk and you start going through brick set and figuring out where it came from.
Yeah.
But because of that, number one, you gain poundage pretty quick. You learn bricklink really well because not every piece is in a thrift store crumbled set. But also, it was a great education on all the sets from the 90s through like 2010 at the time.
Yeah.
But by building that, I was learning through the instructions, right, all the different things that the Lego designers had put out there over time. I wasn't even knowing it.
Yeah.
But I restored maybe 200 sets. It became a really problem in a year.
Wow.
And then, I'm out of room at this point. I'm really into it. And then my brother said, "Hey, you should build a spaceship because you always did these amazing builds." I'm one of those rare people that I still have my original mock from my childhood.
Wow, that's impressive.
So we didn't even call them mocks, so it's just named Mike's Spaceship. Really cool. And Mike's Spaceship is currently out there. I was going to photograph it or do something with it. I got it out of storage. But it is, it's all this classic space elements and town elements jammed together in this haphazard style from 12 or 13-year-old me. And it's crazy. I look at that set and I'm realizing that mock is nearly 40 years old.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think nothing survived from when I was a kid,
No, mostly it doesn't. But so to say
ago.
that I have my original mock from that's, nearing its 40s. No, not 40s. What am I saying? 30s.
Yeah.
80 to 20. 85 to 20.
He's giving his age away.
No, it really is approaching it's like 35 years or whatever. Yeah, but it's old. It's old and that's kind of insane. But no, so then I built my first spaceship over a course of 2 months in 2007. It was featured on the Brothers Brick blog.
Nice.
I didn't know what that was to show you how great AFOL I was. I'm like, I was on vacation and my phone starts exploding on Flickr. And I came back to work and one of the guys is a huge fan. I said, my spaceship's on this blog thing and, a lot of people are starting to follow me. He's like, which blog? I'm like, it's called the Brothers Brick or something. And his eyes exploded out of his head.
That's funny.
From there, I just knew mock building was going to be a thing, that it somehow I was on some sort of course. And from there, I just kept building and building and building and building and building. And you can go to Instagram and see kind of the progression of things.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like your Instagram page.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
Yeah,
Thank
our
you for
social
sharing
media
it.
manager pulled me aside and I was asking him how to do it, and he schooled me in the ways of the Instagram. So
yeah, I'm curious how you did that too. Actually, he's got I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like a grid pattern, and so the picture's broken up into multiple.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I do. I post for profile. I don't post for the post itself. So anybody who follows me, I wind up kind of confusing and destroying their views because they just see these little chunks of stuff. And they're like, what is going on with my phone? This Moto guy, he's totally breaking it. But then if you look at the image, it always says click on my profile to see the full image.
Yeah.
And the reason I do it is I'm a real big fan of Flickr. And I know Flickr is pretty much, on its, kind of still there, but not really.
Yeah.
But Flickr, I still use it because you can zoom in and you can see the detail. And with Instagram, the only way to really appreciate the detail of my builds is by gridding it out in my profile, and then you can tap on that one image, that one section, and then it goes, and you can see that one area a bit more for the construction technique or what's really going on.
Okay.
Because like the wolf or my other, I build things in feet. Like I've got a big crystalline spaceship egg that's 4 feet plus tall. And, you put that if I did that on one Instagram square,
it's so tiny.
It's going to look like a micro scale build of something. It's going to look like a little, it's like, why is he posting a friend's dragon egg? I don't get it. But no, when you have the grid, then people are like, okay, I see that's Technic. And then when they click and one of the squares goes up, then they say, dear God, how many windscreens did that guy buy?
Yeah,
it's
I
just
feel like
I don't know. It's and the profile is really great way for engaging with people at conventions because it's a nice, easy way to you pull up your Instagram, whatever it is, thing that they snap, or they can just type in moto.lego, and they don't see the post, they see the profile, right? And they can very quickly immediately go, okay, this is kind of interesting.
It's a unique way of doing
understand
that.
what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I like that for sure.
Man,
Yeah.
that was a tangent.
No, that's all right. Hey, I learned something. I'm actually a wedding photographer, and every time I put something up on Instagram, it's always like teeny tiny. I'm like, I don't even bother putting it up. So that's actually
The audience won't understand this, but I'll get a little nerd. So if you go into Photoshop, use slices,
Okay.
an automatic tool, and then from slices, export, save to web legacy, highlight all the slices, export them. From there, then come back, use your image processor for the 1080 by 1080 dimension and auto fit everything in. Then connect the phone to the computer, upload it into your phone, and from there you post everything in reverse order.
In order,
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and I always write the.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, I did. I like this guy. We lost him, I think.
Oh no, it's okay. The brief's solid.
Oh, you're back.
It happens. By the way, if I get knocked offline because of bad internet, I'll just come back. It happens all the time. But yeah, from there, I just write all the copy in Gmail and I email to myself, and then I highlight, copy, paste as plain text. I'm off and running.
Yep.
That's very cool. I wouldn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Yeah, I'm not good with you are amazing with Photoshop. I can't.
No, it's funny. If you scroll my Instagram, you can see where it was the standard Instagram. As I was just getting my backlog like blasted in, starting.
And then it switches over to the new.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like everything just starts to go into that clean grid upwards from when I was really starting to use it for each build as I progressed. The logo I do have to delete and then repost every once in a while to make sure my logo stays towards the top. But that's not a big deal. I'm sure people are bored of like, oh, he's posting his logo again.
There he goes again, all those pieces.
There he goes again, and all the little impossible shape logos coming through my feed.
Are you, and this is, I guess, is a tangent too. So now that the show's been broadcast, your pictures all over the place. Are people noticing you outside more and shopping? If you're out, I don't know if you're out a lot, but true.
That's the problem.
I'm taking my mask off now, so we've been lifted, so outdoor and everything. I've been starting to take my mask off.
We're mostly lifted, but my son is underage for getting the vaccine.
Okay. Yeah.
So until he's fully vaccinated, as a parent, it doesn't feel right for me to not wear a mask and then tell me I have to. It's not.
I do the same thing. I wear my mask when I go out, even though I'm fully vaccinated. I still do it because my
small art director. I mask up. So I don't get. I'm not. Well, I haven't been recognized just walking around. I think it's because the wardrobe is a big part of that.
Yeah.
Now maybe if I put on the patterned shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if I had the lab coat,
science coat on the lab.
Either they're going to think I'm completely nuts and escort me out for wearing the lab coat around with the white shirt. But no. If I go to the Lego store, they know who I am and they know I'm on the show.
Yeah.
My friends. So AFOL, I missed AFOL day, but I did do, June 1st release day to buy the Everyone is Awesome set. To get it because the copies were just gone. So I stood in line.
I did order that. Mine's in the warehouse.
But no, when I was standing in line, some LUG members are there too. And they're like, oh, Moto, are you excited? You're on the show tonight or whatever. And then a couple people in line are like,
who is this guy over here?
No, and I just said, oh, I'm, hi, I'm Moto. I'm going to be on the LEGOMasters show. I don't know if you're watching it. If there's the small kids, because they're the ones that are like, oh.
Yeah.
It's the kids, and that's part of the fun part. Is I see, like, obviously I'm not on any show or anything, but even like driving around or like people at my school that know they do Lego stuff. Like
and we do some local stuff with the camps and stuff around here, and we. They're like, oh, it's the Lego guy,
Or I drive around my truck which has the Lego license plate.
Yeah, last week, the school teacher, once she got all the grades and stuff done and sorted, as turning in the remote learning stuff, and she's like, oh, I'm so excited you're going to be on LEGOMasters. we watched the show and this, that, and the other, and I was like, oh yeah, do you want a selfie? And she's like, oh, I don't think we're supposed to do that with parents. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, right. Right.
How would we not want to take this brief moment of fame and just enjoy it for a bit?
Yep.
But yeah, I think if the show keeps running and the masks come down, that would do one thing. But no, realistically, the AFL community, I think I'm recognizable and people could notice me. I am going to start going to conventions, so I'm looking forward to my first convention.
Yeah, you should do that.
Meeting people live, and I'll have my wardrobe, whatever wardrobe I feel like wearing that day will be on, and it's not exact to the show, but it's I mean, this shirt's a giveaway. I'll just put it that way.
Okay. Okay.
No, I just wear a suit. I wear a suit instead of the suit with the lab coat. The lab coat comes off, and it's just the Italian John Wick style cut.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'll have the belt, the shoes, everything on, because it's just that was my personal brand handing in, and they liked it enough to just take it through wardrobe and put it on air. So that was kind of cool.
Nice. I think my favorite part of conventions is, well, there's two parts. Part is the community, the Lego community, all the AFLs, and then when you have kids come up to the table and they're looking at something, they just like get so excited about seeing what you built, and you get to explain it to them.
Yeah.
Or there's this one kid that
I love that at conventions too. Having my mocks out there. Now the problem is, like, over the last year, I've machined out a ton of stuff that no one's ever seen in person.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what people think of things like the Wolf or things like these belts that have, I've done, but no one's seen them in person.
Yeah, they probably would just love them.
But yeah, you guys like, when you have the general audience, it's always exciting if someone just completely flips out.
It definitely is. Definitely is. I do know Brickfest Live is going around again. They're doing the Philly.
Yeah. So Brickfest Live is doing. That's where I met
Denver. We're waiting.
They are doing the Denver one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sweet. See, so you can hop right in over there.
Yeah.
I meant, like, I'm going to attend a major convention. So one of these ones that you like. I am 99% of my way to going to Brick Rodeo. I'm at the point where so many people that I've talked to, I heard are going to be there, that it's like, I probably won't have a mock. I'm probably gonna have to fly because I'm in Denver, but at least I'll just be there to see all the cool stuff and see some of these people I've seen over the internets in person.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're probably gonna be, you're a lot shorter than I thought.
What's that?
They're probably gonna say you're a lot shorter in person.
Oh, the TV adds 5 inches, right?
Yeah.
Not in our case, man. Everybody was tall.
Were they?
Really?
Were they?
Oh man, like Philip is what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Oh wow. Yeah,
or even taller. He's a tall guy. And then Mark, the Erickson brothers, they're above 6. Everybody was like,
really?
I thought they were short. Yeah.
See, we would have looked real short.
I thought I was shrinking. Yeah, it's funny.
I'm only 5'7", so I would have been like,
and I'm 5'9", so we would have been like.
You and I are the same height. Then I'm 5'9" as well.
Yeah.
That's another weird thing about being on the cast is you get to meet. Right? It's like, Will Arnett's tall. We all know he's 6'2", and but it's like, how tall is Brickmaster Jamie? How tall is Brickmaster Amy?
Right? Yeah, you don't think about that.
Jamie
I
looks
wish Amy was tall. She's really tall.
Yeah, no, I thought she looks tall on the show comparatively.
And Jamie, I looked him right. He's exactly my height.
Okay, so he's around that size.
He's from our area. He's from the East Coast.
It's little stuff like that made it fun too. The little details. Like, Brickmaster Jamie is my height. That's cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you don't ever think about those things till you're in that situation. But that's neat.
And I never met him, but there was one designer, Mark Stafford. He was in New York, and like 5 years ago, I met him at a convention. I did a little interview with him. We just chatted a little bit about what he was working on. At that point, it was like Nexo Nights and everything was coming out. It was the time that was coming out. I don't think he did that, but he was there at that time. And so I did a little chat with him, and now I see his name on all these different things. I'm like, okay, now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even know. I mean,
and there's Paul.
I know maybe a handful of designers now, and what they look like. The first one I noticed was Justin Ramsden. That was the first designer I think I ever met on a stream. That was nuts.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's just a super cool guy like the rest of us, right? But you know, I'd like you had a documentary of you becoming a Lego designer, man, in my head.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it out loud. I'm just like, oh my god, it's just. But yeah, we all have fandom, right? But we're also just builders and people that enjoy this fine craft.
Yeah.
Hi, Mama Bear. Mama Bear. But hi.
Yeah, I think I know who that is. I was gonna say is that my claim to fame, not claim to fame, but like a famous designer, or so one of the LEGOMasters in Enfield, Connecticut, I became friends with because I met him in New York also, and he invited me to Enfield. So I've been there a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and my favorite part was he has the original Lego Emmett from the Lego movie at his desk.
Yeah,
the little figure that bounces around the table there, and so I was able to pick him. Yeah,
we had him in our hand, man, in our hand. We took photos. We're like,
yeah,
it's like the little guy. I was like. That was just like a dream seeing that. That was cool.
I was going to tell you, I got to touch the golden brick, and then you guys have to kill it with Emmett.
Sorry.
Oh no, it's awesome.
You were on LEGOMasters.
I would love to touch Emmett as well. I would want to touch Emmett. Everybody would want to touch the OG.
So he said
Emmett.
he said he used to bring him around, but he was getting all destroyed.
He's getting a little faded from being held so much. So.
Oh yeah, getting well loved.
Here's the other cool part about it is that is a sig fig that I have. He put on the desk next to Emmett. They were both sitting on his desk.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. But yeah, that guy
Paul Sean.
He did all like the designing and stuff for the buildings and things,
the cities.
in that movie, the original one.
Yeah.
Did he work on the second one? I
don't think he worked on the second one, but he worked on the first one and helped design and worked with Will with what's his face? What's the dad? Now I'm drawing a blank. What's the dad in Lego movie? I can't think of his name now.
The really tall redhead guy that plays Elf.
Yeah, him. You know who I'm talking about. He's not gonna say it either.
Yeah. But
I'm having too much fun.
I know his name.
Come on, Google it.
I'm just gonna Google it because I don't know.
He's just going to keep repeating Will Arnett in his head because now
that's what's in my head.
That's the problem.
Everything else got pushed aside.
Because it's Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I was going to say Ferris or something. Will Ferrell.
There you go. Why couldn't I was thinking Will Arnett because I'm like, it's Will.
Yeah.
Will.
That was the block there.
It is a Will. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. So yeah, he said he worked with him to show him how to take the stuff apart and put it together. So it looked. Yeah. Well, Mama Bear answered Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Too late. We were figuring it out.
Cool. Will Ferrell would be even better. Will? That'd be hilarious.
Feral Wolf.
he's like in the zoo because he's gone feral.
I'm excited about the zoo animals that are coming. I love all the Lego animals.
Yeah, that's another topic if you want to talk about it. Is there anything coming out that you're looking forward to?
Yeah,
tons of stuff. Well,
what do you see that's coming out that you like? Is there any particular types of sets and stuff that you gravitate towards?
Everyone is awesome. I had my so the way it works at our house is small art director gets all the sets as gifts. So the vast majority of set buying is just whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And he'll go through catalogs and start circling things.
Nice.
For me, because his stuff takes up all of the available space, I buy sparingly. I bought, for myself, I buy maybe 4 or 5 sets a year, and then I get a lot of gifts, which I either turn over or we build together because otherwise I'd never do it. I just keep plowing through mocks at such a rate. So I love the Monkey Kid theme. I can't get enough of it. So anytime Justin designs a Monkey Kid set, I wind up inevitably buying it. So the Monkey King Warrior Mech.
Oh yeah,
that's the one with. Is that the one with all the glowing pieces in it?
No, gold parts. Gold parts.
Oh, it's the gold part one.
Yeah, drum lacquered gold pieces. It's sitting right over there. And then the most recent wave, I've got the Spider Queen.
Okay. And they're having that Demon King come out with the glow in the dark parts is going to be coming out July 1st.
Dude, the Monkey Kid stuff just kills me. I love it so much.
Have you watched the show? You don't know if you freeze?
He froze. He'll be back momentarily.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Am I back?
Yeah,
Now you're
he's back.
He's back.
Okay,
I asked
There you
the
go.
question. I thought he was thinking really hard on that.
Oh yeah, a little too hard. So yeah, Monkey Kid.
Show.
I haven't watched the show. It was geo restricted when I tried it.
Okay.
I'm sure there's other methods, but
I found it on YouTube,
oh man. Okay, so I'll have to do a search on YouTube now.
and I actually
Probably get
and
clips
for
of it,
and it's a
but
kid. No, it was the
probably-
full episode, and I watched
really?
the pilot, and it was like a long one. And I actually thought because I tried to watch Ninjago, and I really can't get into it, but I actually liked the Monkey Kid from what I saw.
Yeah,
And
I've
Ninjago's been
seen
perfect.
snippets of animation. I love the style.
Yeah.
But love that theme. Love Everyone is Awesome. Monochrome figures, the message,
Yes.
everything. I was just like day one purchase done.
Yep.
I don't know what I would get next. I'm always just every time I think that there's an amazing set I want to get, but I always tell myself I'm going to wait 2 months, and I'm glad I do it because 2 months later there's something even better.
Yeah, right. There's always something. They're like upping like the game these days, and it's just like they're
yeah,
doing
and
incredible stuff.
the other interesting thing about being on Lego Masters is Lego out of Billund ships each cast member contestant 2 massive boxes of sets.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if you guys knew that.
I did because it was Manny or somebody had told me about it.
Yeah, season 1 they got all their packages, and then
Pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah.
season 2
get all
we
that.
got our packages, and it is. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. It's like it's insane. It's overwhelming. It's like everything that Jamie or Amy, have had a hand in that is epic. So like, I haven't fully unboxed it because I wanted to do it live on video.
Okay.
I pulled so there's a note. The note was more critical for me. There's a letter in there that is essential that I'm gonna have framed.
Okay.
So I just did it to pull the letter. But while I'm reaching in, I'm like, there's the grand piano.
Nice. Nice.
Like literally, that's just one set of like.
Yeah. Eyeballs
stuff in
just like
there. I was just like,
I
I was like,
that one.
I was like, oh.
That's one that if someone gave me, I would get. I don't think I'm going to buy that. I like that set a lot, but I don't think I'm going to buy that one.
No, there's the grand piano, and I think I glanced the NES right next to it, and then I had to stop because I'm just like that.
It's like
This is too much overload, and my brain's
Those 2 sets alone like set my brain on fire just
That's
thinking
impressive.
that
That's
I had
impressive.
them.
Yeah. The Nintendo set's
Right.
really fun. And you would think so. I have a 12-year-old, and he doesn't like.
But
those
maybe
toys.
not. I mean, I tried to not look, so maybe I'm just making myself imagine that it's in there. So, I'm trying to do
Trying
things.
to backtrack now.
Yeah. You got me off track because now I'm reminding myself there's all these things I should be doing for my own channels, but I just interview. That's what I do these days.
Yeah.
It's better to hang out with the community and you guys and prop up these awesome channels that are, out there and want to listen to us yammer on for days on end.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And-
We're enjoying this as well.
And part of mine is that, like, I always tell Steve, like, I'll come down to, I call my studio, I have my Lego studio, and I like having more than one person either on a stream or just with me. And if I'm gonna build something, maybe I'll throw the camera on and just, if someone wants to jump in and chat, they chat. If they watch it later, they can see it later. But it's more exciting for me than just sometimes than just building by myself.
Yeah, building by yourself is very lonely. I mean, I understand
Yeah.
the camera and the loneliness of it. That's how I do my YouTube videos, and it's like that the camera has an audience, but it's offset in time in some future dimension. So you are there kind of all alone. And I mic myself for sound, even.
Okay.
So, I mic myself for sound, and then I've got the 2 cameras. I've got the professional lighting kit. So the whole thing takes logistics and everything. And then, I do my thing. I do my takes. I go through the entire editing. And by the end of it, I've put in like 20 hours into a 5-minute video.
Wow.
Yeah. I know how it is.
But yeah, it's a whole
That's what
thing.
we
Right?
used to do, yeah.
And
It can be time.
Oh,
you okay?
no, I'm not. I just kind of swallowed weird. No, I was going to mention the layout behind you is absolutely incredible. And
Oh, thank you.
the second thing is you're holding playing cards. right?
No, I'm not holding a playing card. It's actually a Lego Pop Tart that I was.
He's just messing. It was on the
Oh.
side over here.
I had some.
Oh,
pizza.
see, I thought so. Yeah, so I thought you were holding
That's-
playing cards. I was going to tell you one summer, I practiced card magic to get my finger strength, my dexterity way up there,
Oh, okay.
so I could do really crazy connections inside of models.
Oh, nice.
Like that wolf. The only reason it came together is because I had
You
some.
could go.
So no, I can do this.
What?
Right, I can touch my pinky to my index finger just straight up.
I can't do
Yeah,
that.
I think I can do that.
I don't know if
like
I
this?
can't.
What do you do? What are we doing? Like this? I don't know
Both
what I'm doing.
hands. No, the tips. You want to get the tips, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Yeah, I can't. Oh, maybe, but
My fingers don't work that way.
Yeah, no, and most people don't. Most people don't even
Yeah.
have the joint structure. It's a genetic joint structure thing you need as well.
I can
That's
do
funny.
it's like,
one
it's
hand.
like I can nanu, but
Oh yeah, I
the
remember
point
doing
was,
that.
the point was you need to you nanu, you do all these finger exercises, but
That's easy, but
at one point I realized that when I was working on my really large Technic spaceship, if I was working Technic for 4 or 5 hours straight, I just didn't have the strength to keep doing it because Technic is just brutal on the hands.
Yeah. Oh,
So
and
that was at the point where I started getting calluses, here
Yeah.
and here. But thank goodness, because if I'll say you guys, if you reapply and you're going for this thing, you need you need to have really tough hands.
yes.
Okay.
I can
I wound
imagine
up getting
you build them with a
calluses.
lot of pieces.
Yeah, I got calluses down to these digits. But and the reason is it's all new brick. So
Yes.
I told you my stuff is thrift store brick.
Yep,
It
They're
comes
rounded out.
It's right off the presses, sharp brick,
Sharp,
and you are
yeah.
putting down thousands of pieces at a furious rate. And before you know it, if you don't have, if you haven't worked your hands up to that level of building up for hours on end, you're gonna seriously Jermaine. He split his fingers open. They had to tape them shut
oh really?
Oh man.
for one of the challenges.
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna have to pull like a Karate Kid thing where like the guy's going like this into like the sand or something like that. I think that's in one.
No, it's just do your building, but definitely get into the. So I don't think anybody else did this. I'm just this one-sided person where I was like, okay, so there's this show and it's the highest amateur competitive event you could probably be on. So I stepped back and I said, okay, what is that comparable to?
Yeah.
I went, oh, it's an Olympic event. Okay, so what do Olympic athletes do to train? So I look it up. And I think, okay, I can't do that, but I can definitely put in 20 hours a week.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I'm going to get up super early or stay up super late, depending on what type of person you are. And that's going to be 2 hours every single day. And then every weekend, it's going to be 4 to 5 hours every single day. And or whatever it takes, and it started to work up to 20. And then, but thank goodness I did that because just the physical process of constantly manipulating brick.
Yeah.
Or
imagine if you didn't do that and you went into the show, you'd have very sore and
I'm just
your fingers would get sore. You need time to recover. I'm not saying it's essential or necessary. I'm just saying I think it did help me because my fingers didn't feel too bad.
No,
it was my legs. Every molecule of my legs were utterly destroyed.
I was gonna say I'd be more worried about because I'm standing and hunching over. Like my back would probably be killing me if you're doing a 16-hour build. I know it's broken up. I'm sure, but
but dude, it's continuous for all essential reasons. And
I could imagine. Yeah.
I think people's backs were really stiff. I build on the floor when my models get really big, so I'm constantly doing brick yoga.
Yes.
And I'm already hunched over for hours on end, so you get that roofer's back. They call a framer's back.
Yes, I get that all the time when I'm building with my 12-year-old. We're always on the rug.
Yeah, if you build on the floor, you wind up getting a construction worker, a roofer, or a framer's back, where your lower back is really strong. But even then, it was aching a bit. It was aching a bit toward the end because it is long hours.
Yeah.
It's a physical endurance sport.
Oh, I bet.
That's part of it. It's mental draining, it's emotionally draining, but it's also physically draining. And I thought, oh, I'm a pretty, I'm wafer thin, but I'm pretty lean.
Yeah.
So I thought, I don't have a huge muscle like Christian, but I'm decent. And I thought, I'm physically fit. I can do this.
Yeah.
then it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, Ragsy went to the gym and she was working out ahead of the show, and I was like, I should have listened to that. Or I wish
That's what we should do. We should.
I wish I had
go to
known
the
about
gym.
that.
Yeah, I can work out here. I can do that
There
at
we
home.
go.
But yeah, she was fun to talk with her and Sam when they were on the show, and I mentioned to him about the that clip that everybody turned into a meme where they were like arguing with each other, and
Oh yeah,
he
absolutely.
hates that. I think he hates that
Oh,
thing.
he
So
does.
No, Sam. Oh, he's embraced it. He sells that as
Has he?
merch.
Oh, does
He's
he?
making coin off of that.
Oh, okay, that's good. I'm glad.
I wasn't sure. I thought he had said something that he didn't like it at first, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
he
the response
Well,
and the nastiness and the hatred and the trolls that inevitably follow any production of this nature.
Yeah,
Of course.
But you know, once it's run its course, you realize that they had this really strong arc
Yes.
of
Yes.
overcoming it and coming together and getting to the end as a bonded pair of builders, and that was, you know, that celebrated that from that beginning to the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, out of the gate,
Yeah.
you
Seeing
know,
that.
most people thinking reality television, they're thinking, okay, now we've got this villain, right? We've cast the villain. It's going to be this mean guy. And so he got a lot of heat for that, and it really sucked. But ultimately,
But you're right.
know,
It was.
I think he just wore it on his sleeve, just like
Yeah.
any of us are going to have to when we're having a bad day.
But you're right. It was nice to see that arc that they went from a duo that never built together, didn't know how to communicate, and then worked really well together and communicated great, you know, and got along great as a team and did fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm wondering about you guys, like as builders, what do you normally like just enjoy putting sets together, or kind of, you know, what's your cadence or pacing or chillness or vibes, or what do you have going on in your lives with Lego?
I want to build more, and I'm trying to get back into my.
He likes to build a lot of sets. I'm more into like the mocks. I do a lot of like mechs and stuff like that with my kid. My kid loves building still. And so I do like kind of like more intricate stuff, you know.
So one thing that I've been working on, and I do like a lot, is animals. Like I was saying before, I'm always looking for the new animals, because I had a zoo, and then I redesigned the zoo into this dystopian thing that I had brought to Brickfest, and we got an award for that. But I want to redo it again and make it a little more. What's that?
I said, oh dang.
Yeah.
And then
he loves his animals.
here's my I was reworking on an aquarium again. This is the one with the it's still
be careful. You built that on a base plate. Gotham is built on teeny base plates, and it never works out.
So this one has like a tunnel in the middle, and
It's really hard to see because it's like very intricate and inside.
also
but-
lights up too. But,
Yeah.
Wait, how did you get? So is that shark brick built in order to expose all those bones and stuff?
No, that's actually one of the sharks from the. I wish it was. That's one of the sharks, I think, from the Silent Mary or something.
Yeah.
Oh, see, you're much better with identifying animals. than
Yeah, I love all the animals, and
Yeah, he's obsessed with all that stuff.
so I have like in the back of this, I had done like the little chef hats to do jellyfish. I mean, you can see it's hard to see on here,
Yeah, it's hard to see.
but the little chef hats, the pink chef hats, turn them into the jellyfish inside that cylinder there. The biggest part I like about the tank is like a lot of the stuff is I design off of stuff I've seen in the real world. So places I've been, aquariums.
Don't we all?
Yeah, of course, but it's like childhood memories, or a place I lived once, and they had this type of rock wall, or they had this type of glass something, and so that's a lot of.
Where's that thing?
I don't know where any of this stuff.
Well, maybe that's something you do. You know, if you get inspired,
in the other room. If you want to grab it.
you can look at the season 2 challenges for inspiration. You don't have a brick pit, but it doesn't mean you have to build at scale. It's like.
Yeah.
So you just talked about exactly what we were given, which is you have to, build something that represents you.
Yeah.
Now you can do it alone. So anybody watching, you can do it alone. You can do it with a team member. You can do it with family. It doesn't matter. It's just take the prompt. It's a great prompt of, discard maybe the float idea, because that was like insane to have 2 48 by 40 base plates and have to like.
Yeah.
That's the starting point. It's pretty big. Just reduce it down to what you're comfortable with and what you have the elements for. Or just crack open Bricklink Studio and just do it virtually. Either way works. And Studio, I can tell you, it's got more than 5 million elements. It's as much memory as your computer can hold.
On the shelf in there. Yeah, exactly. I've been playing around with Studio more. and just trying to work with it better. And so once I get used to it, because I was doing like some what do you want to call it, like where I work at a school, I've been doing like a replica of the school. So I was working on that file just to get used to like trying to get, because the building's huge and it's hard, and there's like these archways and all this stuff, and I'm doing it in mini scale, and so it's been tough to like figure out, okay, this window can only be this size because, and so stuff like that has been interesting to play with. But I want to do more of like I said, I like doing organic style build.
So you're a physical builder, right? You like to have the brick in your hands. And
I
then you build
do.
it.
I do.
Okay, good. I'm the same way.
Yeah. And
no, I am. Like, are you guys familiar with any of my stuff? I don't know if I'm just going to bore you by showing you things you might have already seen.
I don't know. I know the wolf. I know the balloon. Probably can't think of any more. And if you show one, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show you another one. I got to take some stuff down a little bit.
Steve is looking for the baby Yoda that he built. He's trying to find it.
So, have you seen the Mad Max movies?
I have seen the original Mad Max movie. I've not seen the new one. Oh, nice. That's really cool.
So it's a Technic Fig scaled V8 interceptor from the.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's cool.
The second one.
Yep. There's a person who lives near here that built some Mad Max car like in real life. Like it's creepy. It's crazy looking.
Yeah, but I was going to say, you know, this is one where, like you, I like to work on the model first, all by hand.
Yeah.
And then I went back and made instructions for it because I gave these as gifts.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. Wow.
But I made my own, you know.
Yeah, it looks professional. It looks like a real
Yeah,
set.
The idea was to make my own Lego set.
Yeah. And how long did it take to design that and do that whole process?
Well, I'm a designer, so
okay.
It took now putting it together, like ordering the photo prints to wrap it and adhesive it.
Mm-hmm.
Took some time, but then, you know, as it opens, it has a shoebox reveal and all that stuff. It's really
nice.
You know,
look at this.
One of the things I do, I don't know if everybody does this, but I've always, whenever I do one of my, I'll say, oh my gosh, there's still pieces of the ear.
I'm back. Sorry.
He built a Mad Max interceptor and actually a whole box kit, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. So that's what he designed.
But I was gonna say, it was a good education in learning studio and how things, you know, work or come together. And the other general concept is if you go back through my work and you kind of look at the beginning of it up till now, every time I did a large or a major build, not just a palette cleanser or something like that, but, you know, the stuff that's like 80, 100, 200 hours.
Yep.
I was learning a different part of the Lego system or a different technique within the Lego system to try to master it. So, you know, there was this snot work for the first ship was the big deal. And then from there, it was starting to get into Technic and slopes on top. So slot rather than snot.
Yeah.
And making circular stuff out of slopes all curving together organically.
Nice.
Or, you know, and then at one point, you know, I took on Bionicle pretty hardcore.
Okay.
And thank God I waited, because construction is like a whole nother way of thinking. It is freaky, but it's awesome once you learn it.
Yeah, that's where I'm lacking in that.
Or clip and bar. Nobody builds clip and bar. That's something that I think only maybe very, very few of us do. It's entirely like really wild way. Or polytexture is another one of those things where it's not very common. But I'm always trying to like grab and then understand and pull off a build that says, okay, this is like a showpiece of this style of building, you know, in my style.
Yes.
And this one, because, you know, it was pretty much just a model, you know, a representative model.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very accurate and it's cool, but I said, okay, there's nothing new here, but what's new is I'll make instructions and make box art and then do the entire set experience at an elevated level.
Yeah.
And then I'll make 3. I'll keep 1 copy. And then I shipped 1 to Richard and Flynn Tricky Bricks, 1 to
Nice.
Iceberg and as gifts and sent it to them. And it was kind of a fun thing to where I wasn't the receiving end of the intent of the whole thing, where they got this package and then they open it up and you could go watch it anyway. It's like I did an origami wrap around paper before they even got to the box.
That's cool.
It was literally like, how could you take a bespoke set experience and literally blow someone's top off? It was very much like personalized note. I individually packed every single unique element into its own bag, so that it was pre-knolled.
Wow.
So no one had to know all the pieces. It was all there.
Yep.
Wow. That must have taken a while.
Dude, it was like, it was another one of these like, okay, I know what I'm doing for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Or whatever. But in the end, like anything, it's a real pain in the ass and it's a struggle and, it's rough. But when you get there, there's this great sense of achievement.
Yeah.
Hopefully, do you guys have that experience? Like you're really trying to get something to work and it's horrible and you're putting in the hours. And then when you finally get to that point where it's kind of like, your room looks like a surgical floor. It's just like a complete bomb site. And then there's this perfect model in the middle of it.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God, I think it's done.
That's this room right now. It's a disaster like that.
I've done that many times, especially build them with my kid. My wife hates it because we have a baby now, and so I have to make sure I pick up every single piece. But having that nice little model, that we built, it just really makes it worth having to pick everything back up.
So one strategy.
Yeah.
As your child grows, you're going to continually moving your models higher off the floor.
I got like everything stacked up in like my bedroom. It's all like on high shelves and stuff like that.
It doesn't matter. By 3 or 4, your kid's going to learn how to stack books.
Yeah.
And they're going to make a homemade ladder and they're going to start getting up there anyway. But at least you deferred the feet.
I've gotten to the point where I've put in any of my important models into my oldest son's room because he's actually old enough now where he's like, all right, I'm going to take care of these things.
Oh, good. You hired a defender.
Yes, absolutely. So that's where I got a guardian.
Wow. What is that?
This is one of the zoo enclosures that I was designing. So that's the brick-built hippo and a little baby hippo, because I always thought that piece reminds me of a hippo head. It's like the curved slope. But, I don't know if you can see it better, but
I can see it. I'm just appreciating it.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like to know where my Yoda went.
And then, okay, he's still looking. I just took it away.
Yeah. Hold
Man,
on.
have you ever looked at Dave Morgan's stuff?
I don't think it doesn't sound familiar.
It's just that you have a very similar, clean, crisp architectural style.
Thank you.
Do we have any of the other ones?
Of which ones?
These?
They're all over there. But this was when we were at the Brick Fest and I had extra pieces and I wanted to do a take on the zoo enclosure, but with Ninja Turtles. So first you get the front with this typical sewer entrance, and then if you look inside, you can see.
There's my heroes in a half shell.
Yeah. The pizza boxes everywhere and the
So yeah, I'm in my very late 40s, and so I have a couple of copies of the very original black and white.
Oh, nice!
I love that.
He's going.
I got into it. I got into it way before the Nickelodeon days and stuff.
Closer.
Okay.
Closer.
Yeah, you're a bigger fan than I am.
With the Michelangelo with the pizzas up there.
Oh, it's even the fig. It's not even like
it's the minifig.
Yeah, this is all
Michelangelo, the minifig.
These are all Lego figs. These are all.
Oh, you went full Hooper.
It has E.T. on over here. There's pictures on my page that you see it better, but Marty McFly from the Lego Dimension.
So have you ever met Brett Hooper?
No.
Okay, you guys need to meet because he's got a full sleeve of Lego tattoos as well.
I've talked to him.
Nice.
Brett,
I want to see a picture of both of you guys with your sleeves like crisscrossed or interlocked or next to each other because
That would be cool.
that is lit.
Oh, thanks. And then over here is Harley Quinn and Thanos. Maybe I can make it bigger.
Oh my goodness.
Make it bigger. I can hold on one
Yeah,
second.
make it bigger so
Where'd
you
my
can
mouse
see it.
go?
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, if
There we
you
go.
make it on the show, you're going to be extremely lucky because they're going to want you to expose your tattoos. You're not going to have to worry about getting overheated.
Don't make them wear like
The
a
other
tank
thing,
top, like a-
the other thing you have to consider is if you watch the show and consider this. If you look at Lauren and Brian, you know,
Okay.
the sister brother team,
Yep.
Yeah.
or you look at Paris and myself, just recognize that we're building with dress coat sleeves on.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh.
so if you ever want to put a
Oh.
sleeve that hangs down,
Yeah.
and you try building Lego and reaching into
Oh,
a delicate
man.
model with a sleeve, just think about that for a moment of what's
Yes.
going on.
Already. Yes. No long stuff. No
She,
long
So
I know-
hats off to Brian and Tyler Kleitz because Tyler had a suit, right? And so did Corey and his brother.
Yeah, Tyler had a
Well,
suit.
Tyler Kleitz, he was building with a suit, so he had the
Yep.
long sleeves too.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yeah.
you got it. So I was doing this. I learned to do this thing where when I started building, I would snap, I would snap back to get my forearms clean
Yeah.
to get in the model because I was
Nice.
worried about dragging pieces off with that sleeve.
I was planning on wearing tank tops on every episode.
Yeah.
Go through the process. But
Yeah.
I if I was a producer, I would say I want to see those tattoos on screen.
Yeah.
That's
And-
just lit.
and they liked them. They kept wanting pictures of them, and it was interesting with
See,
that.
maybe I should get a sleeve on the opposite arm, and then like we can be like the tattoo brothers.
I'm planning on
No, get a tattoo because you love the artwork and it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
meaningful to yourself. You don't want to go out and do
No, I know.
something.
I
expensive.
don't have any yet.
I don't have any tattoos either.
my next one is for I plan to do a Harry Potter, just not a whole sleeve, but just Harry Potter, the three main characters down here at one point.
That's awesome. My wife has like really bold black and white tattoos, and that's just cool.
The first one I got was I had a son that passed, and so I got a Lego Deadpool tattoo on my leg, and
That one's cool.
and I entered it in a tattoo contest for the artist because he asked me to, and it won for its size, like its place, size, color, whatever they do different categories.
Yeah.
So he won
Wow.
an award for it.
Man, you're the illustrated man of Lego.
Yeah.
You know, it's all Ray Bradbury in here. We're gonna start seeing stories and falling into the narrative of each tattoo and what it means, and
There's
start
actually
animating and stuff.
I could talk on what the meaning on behind all of them actually for a while. Actually,
Yeah.
they all have a deep
Well,
meaning.
yeah, you have to. I mean, if you're going to get a tattoo, same with my wife. You know, each one has a deeply symbolic personal meaning for her.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why get it?
Yeah, exactly. I try to tell it to my daughter, and she has 15 tattoos, and they're like, they all have meanings. I'm like, but they're all over the place. So
Well, there's a reason I call my son small art director. You know, and when he's watching the show, he was small art critic.
okay.
Yeah.
Dude, it was brutal. It was brutal watching the show with him. He does it in a hysterical, and it's completely funny. But like for example, we get to the end of the show, right? Show's aired. Finally, it's done. Close scene. I turned on. I was like, so what do you rate the show now? Because I asked him to rate it going in.
Okay.
He says, well, that was pretty good. So now it's a 3 instead of a 1. I said, okay.
Boy,
So
I'm
3 stars.
hoping that's out of a 5, right? That's out
No,
of
so
a 5?
this is the kicker. I said, so it's 3 stars. How many stars? He goes, 90.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh God.
3 out of 90.
You were hoping it was at least 5 or 10 at worst.
90.
But 9. Oh god.
90. Where does he come up with a 90-star rating system? And I get 3.
Right?
So yeah, no
That's
joy.
funny.
No joy from the kid.
I had
No.
that's funny. I had a
No,
sushi.
he liked it. He liked it. He giggles. He laughed. He loves Will Arnett. He loves the animations because,
That's
you
good.
know, I mean, I know the show gets criticized, you know, from sectors of the community for not highlighting the builds enough, or this, that, and the other, or that, you know, the animations are over the top, or the jokes. But
Yep.
you know, this is Lego. A Lego show is geared toward parents and children, and
Exactly.
Yep.
you know, the family friendly audience. So when my son would never watch season 1. I was just trying to get him to watch, and he wouldn't do it. But finally, watching season 2, I understood. It really hit home what they're going for and kind of what they're trying to achieve. Because just to have him laugh at all the silly jokes and stuff, or
Yeah.
the animations, I was like, oh yeah. So you know, the demographic for Lego sets is my son's age, and they're just like,
Exactly.
they
Exactly.
you know, they hit it right on the mark for him, and they still kept some of the adult stuff in, you know, as much as we
Yeah.
could get out of it as well.
Yeah.
from the
I
building
would
side.
imagine it would be hard, you know, trying to, you know, go for the demographic of like the eightfold or something. Like you can't. That's not really like their
TV. It's not going to be.
for television, you know.
Well, I will say this: it's not the American market. Now,
Yeah.
I would argue if you look at the Australian show,
Yeah.
they show you how you can succeed with a nearly as exclusive of an AFOL type show as possible. I mean, you still have Hamish Blake on there as a comedian. He's exceptionally good at what he does.
Yeah.
But you know, they don't have the budget, so they take it and strip it back to the core. But they also give it a 2-hour runtime instead of 1 hour.
Yes.
Because they're an Australian market, they can do different things with it, and
Yep.
it's a heck of a watch.
Yeah. I actually peeked at some of those episodes as well, and they were pretty good. I enjoyed watching them.
It's just too bad. I've language difficulties or whatever. I would love to at some point be able to, catch glimpses on YouTube of France and Belgium and Dutch and
Yeah.
with the Netherlands. I'm sorry, there's so many I forget.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm
few of them
insulting
out
the
there
greater
these
Lego
days.
Masters family by being this illiterate. I should know every single one, across the board, but I just don't.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We forgive you for that. It's all right.
Yeah, but will they forgive me? That's what's key.
Hey, you already got your box.
No, I mean, we're able to talk to each other now, which is kind of nice. There's ways of communicating, at least across the English speaking, and now we're starting to get some of the, non-English speaking members in as well to get to know them. And
Awesome.
yeah, top-notch people.
Yeah.
Great. That's what's great. Is also, what I like about you guys is you don't go through a production like that without the understanding that they're looking for people to be ambassadors for the
Yes.
brand
Absolutely.
and ambassadors for the community. Because the show's on, but the show starts and it ends,
Oh yeah.
right? But you carry that AFOL title. Now,
Yes.
I don't want to confuse anybody. The person who wins the show is called Lego Master, but from Lego, the note that you get from them says, "Dear Lego Master," on official Lego note
Awesome.
card from Billund.
Yeah.
So as an AFOL name, a shorthand among the community, because we're in a community session here, I can introduce myself as I'm Lego Master Moto.
Awesome.
That is a title I get to use now for the rest of my life. And because of that, I hope, and I would hope that the production also considers that as something where, we're going to be out there for a heck of a lot longer than the show airs.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
we're going to be at these conventions, and we're going to be, people that are on panels
Yes.
or out there in the public. And you want that brand ambassador out there, and you guys are very kind and friendly, and you're having fun, right? And you love building things, and we get excited about talking about our builds and showing our mocks and having them up and say, how did you do that? What is that? And you've got all the answers down, right? From being at the convention circuits, it's like, how long it take, how many pieces, where can I buy the set?
I've heard those a lot.
Yeah.
How long did that take? Like the zoo
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, I have no idea. It was
What's
months
funny
and
is I finally started, every time I post on Flickr, I started to document it. Not exactly,
Yep.
but I would say, okay, I remember it took this many weeks, and I remember I do 20 hours a week, so I'd add it up. And but I'd say started in whatever month, ended in this whatever month by year, and then, I put the time that went into it.
Yeah.
And then for pieces, it's really funny. For pieces, it says like hundreds, or it says thousands, or one of them, the big model. I got a kick out of that. It's like 10K plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm one of these guys where I can't remember things after a couple months or a year. It kind of just fades away. It's like the mock is there. I'm like, yeah, this is still cool looking.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you when I built it or how long it took. It's like, I remember this took a while. It was like in the spring.
I always wonder, like, they ask the question, like, what is that, like, what will that help you with in the long run if I tell you that it took me, 7 months to build this? Like,
Yeah. Is it going to intimidate people from building, or is it going to motivate them to want to build something like that?
It's just a curiosity. They like numbers and stats. I think it's
yeah, and you get that. So some of the parents, there's a couple cool reactions. One is, I'll have a model up, and then some of the models I'll bring out from the table to show the kids. I just say, hey, you have to be very careful not to touch it. Or I'll look at the parents and say, just be careful not to touch it. Is it okay? And if they say, yeah, it's cool, I fly it out, I swoosh it, and they look at it and stuff. And then they always say, how long did that take? And say, oh, this one was about 120 hours, or was, most of my stuff's around 100. So I'll just say, okay, it was 120 hours and it took, 6 weeks to put together. And some of them say, wow, did you hear that? It took them that long to put it together. That's a lot of dedication. And then I follow up and say, yeah, I said, yes, if you work hard at something, you can become really good at it. It just takes a lot of practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
None of us are very good when we start.
Yep.
Or the other one is just like, the other response is just like, oh, wow, honey, I could never do anything like that.
Yep.
No, the follow-up to that is yeah, not a lot of people are as insane as me, but it starts slowly. It was never this way.
Yeah.
It was always like 10 hours just playing with stuff, building
Yep.
a set, 4 hours here.
Yep.
And once I got into it and realized it was so soothing and such a relaxing thing to do, 100 hours wasn't that much, because it's just something that I did instead of watching television, or I'd put on my favorite show and just listen to it while, it's really meditative. And, if you got enough stress in your life, isn't it nice just to go and play with something?
Right.
And then
Yes.
you get a piece of art when you're done. That's the great thing is, if I get sucked into a video game and I enjoy playing it, but by the end of it, what have I gotten from it? I've gotten better hand-eye coordination for sure. I know the controller, I know the characters, I have the story. It's just awesome. But I don't get a physical product that's unique to me or something I've made.
I even get that sense of a feeling because of myself being a designer and stuff like that. Even just things like that I design on the computer and stuff like that. I don't feel as though that's as like it's not physical. So when you build something and it's building Lego is like art, absolutely is. And when you have something that's physical in front of you, it just feels good,
It does. And by the way, I can go for as long as you guys want.
What time is it, actually?
No, I destroyed Harris last night. He just went until he couldn't go. And by the way, what's really awesome with your camera,
Yeah.
I hope this isn't a light brick, but that red thing in front of you keeps shifting to bright red to dim red and bright red to dim red.
Oh, that's the camera then, I guess.
It's definitely the camera. It's not whatever this is.
No, it's an awesome bucket. I was just like, man, did they use a light brick or
No. I wish it was. I think it has a problem with color balance, and it's constantly like.
No, it's
Trying
not
to
right. I figured it was a glitch in the matrix after a while.
Yes, it is. It's a glitch in the matrix. You found it.
I'm like,
I was
an idiot,
I was
but how did they
practicing.
do that?
I was practicing like bigger building stuff and like making like what I
And that's
see.
what
Like,
the bucket. That's what the buckets.
yeah, it's just a bucket for a beach pail with water spilling out of it.
I have a feeling I know where that came from. You can't tell me, but I have a feeling I know where.
Yeah,
that came from.
yeah. We can't mention anything. It came from something. You have an idea.
It came from
I
something.
know
With
exactly.
the little spill of water with the
There is something much.
There was something else
Oh,
with
yeah. Of
Yeah.
course there is. There always is, right?
it. But just doing like you see in a lot of people see when they go to a Lego store, you see these big builds, and I've always had trouble doing like the larger 3D, like learning how they sculpt. Basically, I call it almost like they're sculpting a figure, like a life-size figure.
Yeah, with like the
No, that's literally what it's called. It's called brick sculpting.
Yeah, and so
brick shaping or brick sculpting. That's
so
what
I've
it is.
been that's funny. And so I was like kind of like wanted to do it and I was struggled about it. So I started, doing stuff like this and trying like, okay, that's how they do that. It's not as bad as I thought. It's just time consuming.
Yeah. And, if you're going to practice something, I would recommend you keep practicing that skill because that is the fundamental basis of where the Lego Master builds originate. So, talking about the pit, you've got 2x4s, 2x3s, 2x2s, and then to some degree the larger ones available to you. But where you have extreme depth, and we're talking like tens of thousands of elements, is in those 2x2s, 2x3s, and 2x4s in almost any color. Well, so really, that's the idea: is if you're going to go big, and you need to go big on these challenges.
Yeah, you got to use that as a base.
You have to have that hardwired and ready to go to where it's second nature to do sculptural shapes and curves and stuff, and then you finish it off with some mechanisms or whatever.
Stuff. Yeah, that's good to know.
It's definitely like one of the challenging type of things that because you get used to following some instructions or building a model or building. What I've been doing now is I'm buying a set and then mocking the set to get my own like twist on the buildings and not just like obviously copying exactly what the instructions tell me to do. And I'm obviously they're still someone else's set, but I'm just trying to like add some more dimension to them. Did he freeze again?
He froze.
He's in that
He'll
same
be
spot.
back.
He's in that same spot as last time.
He'll be back. Hopefully.
We're technical glitch on Motos. There's a glitch in the Moto.
Oh, and he's gone.
He'll come back.
I'm sure he'll be
We're
back.
still live. Oh, wow. 1 hour and 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Should probably cap this at like 2 hours.
Well, yeah, my wife will be mad.
Yeah.
But we'll see if he comes back. He should be back any minute.
Yeah. Dennis was in here chatting a little bit, and he said, later, guys.
All right.
Later, guys.
Thanks for joining us, Dennis.
Mark Sabio was in here. Mama Bear. Who else came? Brother from Another Brick. There he is. I got to bring him back. Bring him back into the stream. And there's no more glitch in the Moto.
Hello, Moto.
It happens.
He's been wanting to say that.
Do you get that a lot? Hello, Moto.
I may have heard it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yes, I figured. I'm like, let's not use that. He'll get annoyed by it.
No. It's always been done. So here's the deal. As like an Asian American guy growing up in a small town, you get used to it. You get used to it. You just kind of roll with it. And it's not worth getting angry about. But most importantly, if it's done in a fun way, if the intent is fun, then it's fun.
Yeah.
Now, if the tone is derogatory and it's understood, then I start to have problems with that. But it's like it's no big deal. Oh, hello, Moto. Yeah. I heard it all the time at work. It's a thing. Someone even printed out the old Motorola advertisement and like handed it to me to glue to my notebook.
Nice. That's what I was looking at earlier. Actually, I'm like, should I play this? I'm like, I don't know. But
yeah, the only thing I'd warn you about, I didn't exactly look at the channel name, but you can't call me Lego Master Moto. You can always call me like Moto Contestant on Lego Masters.
Okay.
It gets a little touchy when you're doing official publications.
It says Lego Master Moto.
Okay.
I can
Maybe
change
we
it
can
too.
change that.
I would just change it after the fact later.
Yes, yeah, we could do that.
Now, I understand why Fox gets upset because the winners of the show are the Lego Masters. We're just the contestants.
Yeah.
So I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression, like that
Yeah.
we've given away the fact that I would have won or something, because that's not true until it happens, right?
Yeah.
No. Yes, we're all just we are the Lego Master X, Y, or Z, just because that's kind of the AFOL thing that we throw around to shorthand.
Yeah.
But while the show's airing, it causes confusion, and then people
I can see that. Yeah, makes sense. No, think about that. The wife, you getting a phone call over there?
Yeah, my wife's calling me. She's like, "Where are you?"
See, I told you I was able to run you in the ground.
That's it.
That's the one thing about the production. That's like a superpower. As I look at a 2-hour interview, it's like nothing, because there's a 15-hour clock or a 12-hour clock or 8 hours.
Well, it flies by. When you're having fun talking to people that have like interests. It's just it's nothing.
Even the builds, like obviously I didn't do any epic builds like you, but in our audition build, we did the 10-hour day down here, or 12 hours down here doing those doing 2 builds, and it was a long day.
How fast did that go?
It went fast.
Yeah, it goes by super fast, doesn't it?
Although the second one, the 4-hour,
don't get.
And you gave away a little too much there, but
don't
go back and snip that a bit and do a little jump cut. But yeah, if you're doing
that's all I said.
So mock building and competitive speed building are 2 different things.
Yes.
Okay. And even competitive speed building and then a building competition that is timed by date is still different. Because like the people who do like Iron Builder, that's a peak level of performance that most people would never I could only dream to achieve. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you've ever seen the Iron Forge or Iron Builder.
No, we haven't.
Think so.
I've never seen it.
We're talking of the best of the best of the best in the world.
Wow, I have to check that out.
Iron
Chef, Iron Builder.
That's where they got it from. The Iron Builder goes on fairly semi-regularly, but it goes on to where these guys are chewing through models, over a month, and they're just kicking out mock after mock after mock, and all of them are mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But even that is self-paced and self-determined.
Yeah.
Whereas, once you set Clockosaurus up there,
it's a totally different game.
No, there's a pace and a frenetic energy of just shotgunning things down on the fly to try to meet some criteria that and by the way, outrageous criteria.
Yes. I could only imagine what you guys dealt with on the show, having to
what's coming up,
with the time crunch and having to put
just out of the gate. I mean, it's like 2 48 by 48 base plates.
Yeah.
On a steel frame.
Yeah. Oh man.
And you've got to transport it to the track and set it down, but then the whole thing goes in motion too, and then you have to add motion to it.
Did they
make it personal? I was just like, I'm hooked, dude.
Yeah. Oh man.
Did they give you any like primers or anything about building with the motors or anything? I don't know if you can talk about that, but
there is training involved, but it is lightweight at best.
I figured that, but
so it's just like the introduction to the brick pit. I mean, anybody who's memorized the Bricklink catalog, like myself, is going to have a distinct advantage over someone who's just kind of sorted their own stuff and has come up with their own method of categorization.
Okay.
Yep.
You can tell that the person who designed the pit really looked for input from a lot of different people, but also is a crazy astute AFOL. It's the same way for the challenge. The challenge producers are people that, when I saw what they were doing and the way they approached everything that had to do with our bottles, I was really comfortable handing my stuff off to them.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what they were doing. And also, I was like, I don't know, maybe I was feeling snarky one day, but I was like, man, you guys are so good. Would you ever want would you, if you could rewind and take on the show, would you? And he looks at me and goes, what am I, crazy?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like he's like the grizzled veteran who's seen too much, man. But they are at that level. I mean, they do hire true professionals to run the production side of the Lego aspects and logistics of it. And they know what's going on. But the pit, we can complain about trying to find elements or certain things because some things like turntables, how do you, like the simple turntable, right?
Yeah.
Comes in 2 pieces from the factory. Where would you put that? Like,
yeah.
Where do you stock it? Is it a plate? It's not technical.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's like a.
So it's like a meme. It's like a meme. I need a turntable, and it was almost like. My thought was like, okay, do I start with the plates, or do I go for the modified hinge elements? But it's not a hinge; it rotates. But it's not Technic.
Yeah, so it was like where does it actually fit in?
That was one of those strange little animals that's like trying to find a turntable was nuts because it's like there are certain elements like that kind of defy convention, but everything else is pretty clean.
Yeah.
But every once in a while you come across a stumper like that of like maybe it's so that you just start mad scrambling like
yeah.
Even on that,
can I find it?
Even on that first,
or you'd ask another contestant like,
have you seen?
Did you grab some turntables and remember where they are? Like that was pretty much episode 1. It's like everybody asking everybody else, have you seen this thing?
Yeah.
I saw you scrambling on the first episode. You see like take off to the brick pit.
Oh yeah, that was legitimate. Yeah. Of all the cast, I was the fastest to and from the pit.
Yes, you look pretty fast.
I don't know. What's interesting is I want to meet Jordy some point from Australia.
Okay.
Because they made that like a thing where he was, blisteringly fast. Yeah, he was constantly just huffing it. And I was the same idea. I mean, I knew that, okay, in the last 5 minutes of building, when the clock's at 5 minutes, what would I give to get 5 extra minutes?
Yeah.
And the answer's simple. Run like hell, because if you can save 5 minutes just by sprinting, because look at where we're positioned. I was at table 9-10, not 11-12, but 9-10.
Yeah. So
dude, that's a big room. It's back there.
Yeah.
If you're at table 1-2, you've got what? You're right in the pit. You step one foot in, and boom, you're there. Other than like, I've got to make that shooting distance all the way across, get it, and then sprint all the way back. And especially for a model that used a lot of different elements, not just one continuous piece. That was a lot of
going back,
grabbing stuff. Yeah, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, so I went, and I don't remember because I didn't actually pay attention to that. But if they must rotate the people at the tables. Then I'm gonna guess. I can't think of season 1.
I don't know.
I can tell you.
Like someone gets an advantage to be in your table 9 and 10.
Why don't you guess, and then I'll tell you the real answer.
I think
because I can talk. That's actually something I can talk about.
I'm gonna guess that they either rotate them or it's a lot or it's like a random thing.
Okay, go with one of them.
Random.
Lottery.
Random.
You got it. It's totally random.
Oh, it's random.
And not just that. So with a show that has a financial reward, there's federal law that governs how, about fairness and about cheating and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So if you try to throw the show, if you try to cheat, you're breaking some federal regulations. That's federal time. That's not state crime. That's like serious stuff. So one of the things about the production is you can tell that after decades of reality television, this stuff has been, dialed in to a T on how they're going to do it. So they call every single person in. All of a sudden, a very specific production crew comes in. You're like, oh, here we go. Now, the first time we're like, what are these guys are like all of a sudden screaming for us to come over. They're like, gather around, everybody, gather around. You gather around. They make sure every single person has eyesight on them. They will not start until every contestant is there and present and looking at them. They pull out a bag, they reach in, and they pull out an object that is numbered with the table.
Okay.
And it's the same object, right? It's a manufactured consistent object that it's markered on so you couldn't feel any differences.
Yeah.
So it's one guy holds it up and then the other guy has to reach in. Usually the taller guy holds it up and the shorter person reaches in, and it's way up there so they couldn't look.
Yeah, that's funny.
So they go, okay, we're starting with, and they just list off a name, okay, Paris and Moto. You're at table 10.
Yeah.
And then they do this too. They show it to everybody.
So that everybody can see.
You can see the number clearly, and then they set it down and they write it in permanent marker.
Yep.
Okay, Michelle and Natalie. You're at table 5.
Yeah.
Right?
They just go through the list.
And they go through the whole thing, and then by the end, they say, has everybody memorized your table number?
Yes.
Yes.
They want to make sure everybody says
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You understand your table number. One extra time. Yes.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay. We're done here. Thank you. You know your table number. Exit.
Yeah. Oh,
so yeah, you can imagine that with anything of this nature, everything like that fine detail of where the tables get assigned, is done not just in a way that's fair, but it's almost like a Vegas casino style, like very practiced and deliberate. No, like I don't know if I mean probably David Blaine could pull it off with some sleight of hand. No, there, some stage magician with a ton of practice and some rigging or some way to fluke it could have done it, but not a bunch of people in some green room doing some things. Yeah, Two Eyes on the Witch. But yeah, which table you got?
Nice. I can.
Yeah, it's a blind pull lottery, and it's just luck of the draw of where you're going to be.
Yeah, no, that's cool, interesting thing to know behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, no, the reason I don't know if I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed because the reason the core part of it, of what I'm trying to get about the production is it's done to the highest standard of fairness. So there is this theory that always goes through like, oh, it's all staged, it's all scripted. They knew who was going to win from the beginning. Yeah. There's a finger on the scale. They told them to say that. That didn't really happen. And it's like, I don't know how many times to say it after being through that amount of precision, intentful methods of doing things. There is absolutely no way that it is cheated or it is thrown or somehow they're stuffing us for an outcome or they're coming over and saying, hey, could you spin the motor really fast and have that head fly off?
And I know a lot of people from after watching season 1, you hear all the troll. I want to say almost trolls that'll say, "Oh, well, it was fixed, and Tyler and Amy shouldn't have won," and this and that. I'm like, it's not fixed. I mean, I wasn't there, but they wouldn't have a show if they were fixing this thing. So
no, and by the way, they'd get a federal indictment.
Yeah. I'm sure they follow.
Just think about that.
Yeah,
that's not just like lawsuits and financial damages. We're talking real.
Yeah.
We're talking some serious, jail time juice, and that's nothing to be taken lightly. So
for sure.
It is ethically well done, but not just that. I mean, you get a sense of the professionalism from the crew, right? When they do things that way, you get a sense of fairness and you get a sense of safety. And it's just, you have confidence that you're in good hands. These people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like one person I worked really closely with that half the teams worked closely with. You know, he did this little show called Survivor.
It's just tiny show.
You know,
Yeah.
or
Some
X or
people
Y
might
or
have
Z.
heard of
I mean, these folks are in their careers are built off of reality TV challenge competitions, and
So they really
Lego
know what
Masters
they're
is one
doing.
of them.
Yeah.
But you know, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just like the camera people know what they're doing, or the audio engineers know what they're doing, or the hair and makeup know what they're doing. You know, it's an industry, but also it's kind of wild. Do you guys watch any of the CW superhero shows?
I've watched some of them.
Some of them, okay.
Yeah, I've watched.
I got into
Supergirl.
them for a while.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the wardrobe people, you know, I'm chatting, just we're talking wardrobe junk because it's wardrobe time.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, can you know, like you've worked other shows, right? Because it seems like people have been around. You know, it's like a cottage industry." So, oh yeah. I said, "Can you, if you can tell me any shows that you've been on or worked on, you know, would you mind telling me?" He says, "Oh, I was just working Black Lightning."
That's all.
Nice.
And I lost my junk because
Wow.
this guy got to work on a show where they got these kick-ass superhero costumes, dude.
Yeah.
Not like Moto's got a paisley shirt to wear.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I was like, ah. He could see my geek out face, and then I didn't press him further because, you know, I was going to instantly fan zone on and ask way too many questions about things of a nature I probably should know about. But, you know, that was kind of the idea, though, right? You're hanging out with some folks, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I did this." It's like, whoa, this is pretty heavy duty, and now you're dealing with me. You know?
Yeah, it's funny because like I don't fan out or geek out about fame, you know, meeting someone famous typically, but I have, like, when I was in San Diego Comic-Con, I watched the panel about Nosferatu. I don't know if you know that show, but the director,
I love that show.
The
It was
producer,
a long time ago.
yeah, the producer Jamie O'Brien, she I said hi to her because they filmed it near where I live, so I had said something to her, so we kind of chat on Twitter a little bit. But I'm actually also friends with the comic artist who draws who drew the comic book The Wraith and the stuff. He does the comics, and he's actually a really nice guy. And so I chat with him. So it's weird. Like I see both sides of the thing. I own some of his artwork, and I talk to her. And it's.
Well, I'll ask you this: Are you into comic books a lot?
And I yes and no. Like I like a lot of them. I don't necessarily get the time to read a lot of them.
So me too. Are you familiar with Brian K. Vaughan?
No.
He wrote Why the Last Man on Earth, Ex Machina, Pride of Baghdad.
Yeah, I know Ex Machina.
Okay, so he wrote Ex Machina.
Okay, yeah.
So he's the writer.
Cool.
My brother went to college with him and is close personal friends with Brian K. Vaughan.
Oh, nice.
And he's a super famous comic book writer. But that's kind of the funny thing. You know, my brother's just like, "Oh, I'll call him sometime." Like I'll call him. It's like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" He's like, "Oh, I'm hanging out at the pool with Brian." Jesus.
It's fun. Yeah, it's like a friend of mine who published.
God dang it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I said to my brother, "Oh, you know." So Brian dedicated one of his graphic novels to my brother.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
And you know, I get this gift in the mail for Christmas. I'm like, "Oh, I think this is a graphic novel. I wonder what the heck's in here." But so he also worked on another comic book. Oh God, it's a space one. It's absolutely epic. It's super famous. It's like two different races of one's magic wielding, one's technological, and the two had a kid and they're not supposed to.
Oh, is it I think I know what you're talking about. It's Jupiter Ascending or something like that. Oh,
wasn't Jupiter Ascending.
No, that sounds similar to that.
Anyway, it's like on this Eisner list, right? It's like one of those heavy duty successful things. I open it up, it's like this thing. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is so cool. Thanks, Dan." He goes, "You didn't open it, did you?" I'm like, "No, I haven't read it yet." He's like, "Go get it." Open it up. Sure enough, Brian K. Vaughan, full ass paragraph.
I read this.
He's got like the full autograph, my name, everything, big silver marker, the whole thing up.
Awesome.
Like, big flourish sign, closed it, sent it
That's
off.
crazy.
What a
That's
nice
cool.
guy.
That wasn't
nice
a
guy.
saga, right?
Sorry, what was it?
A saga.
Yes, it's Saga.
Saga. Yeah, I have like the first few issues of that. That's about all I read through it though.
So imagine I got the first issue mint straight from Brian, like
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
beat up totally. I was just like,
Geeking out there, yeah.
But no, it's funny. It's like, everybody like me is just a regular person getting through life,
Exactly.
just like the Lego designers are. And, hopefully we're getting through life with kindness and sharing this kindness with others.
Yes.
That's the big deal for me is
Absolutely.
you guys reached out and you asked. So I'm just like, heck yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah.
We appreciate your time that you spent with us, and I know we're at the 2-hour mark right now.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, I mean, is this gonna be the Justice League Snyder cut, or are we just gonna
Just gonna leave it the way it is.
I mean, we're at like James Cameron lengths. We're gonna start hitting, Tenet and some of the what's his name? We're gonna start hitting Christopher Nolan lengths soon, and then possibly we're gonna get into like Snyder cut lengths if we keep going. But
I much prefer sequels, though. We'll go with a sequel. How's that?
The Return of Moto.
Yeah, we get the Return of Moto. That'll be the next title of the thing, the Return of Moto.
Could do that. We could do that if you're up for something like that. Get a
We'll see. Because what I do is, people ask, and then I'm like, yeah, I'll join, and then someone else asks, and I join. So right now it's kind of like I'm doing the hopping.
Yes. I'm sure you're busy for sure.
Oh no, I mean Friday night we've got Sort Lug is live. We've got you guys are live. We've got Friday Night Bricks is live. Hoosier, God knows that guy's live all the time, so he's probably live.
I know him, yeah,
because he never stops streaming. But no, I mean, what's great about the community, but I'll just talk about the YouTube community in particular.
Yeah,
is think of how many more people we have in our community than we had a year ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's grown exponentially. Just even with the release of the first season, in America, it's out there now. It's on front center stage.
It's out there, and also all of the newcomers that I've been able to watch or join or chat with are also positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see that if you look at the people who are succeeding, at least based on the classic subs and likes and follows, like I mentioned, Riley from Brick Science. I mean, he was listed in. Yeah, we need an editor. We need an editor to get this down to 45 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Just as we get to the end, I know that you're not supposed to always promote other people's stuff, but it's more take it from it's more of a heartfelt observation that Emmasaurus, very recent, right? And doing very well. Richard and Flynn in the last year have done very well.
I like that.
Riley from Brick Science was not just in the YouTube community, but was recently listed by YouTube as an up and coming creator on their main page.
Nice.
Who does Lego builds is just an amazing, and he's a TEFL. That's what's crazy is he's killing it as a TEFL.
Wow.
But all of these, Leonard Birch Bricks, I could just go on and on about the various people around the world who, at least run the stream through positivity, and that's the old joke because it's very constructive.
Yeah.
whereas the community is very diverse, but a lot of the shows, I would see that we're Beyond the Brick's always been there, and they're always super positive. Boone is out there; he's always very positive and just a kind individual. But then you also kind of had, I don't know what to call it. It was like, I don't know. It just wasn't. I don't know. It's just like it feels like there's like a different vibe for some reason.
And then and like a lot of it, people are closer together. Like you meet people. The Brick Fan, if you know Alan from the Brick Fan, he's a great guy in person. If you've talked to him,
Plus, you know me, never met anybody in person. You know, I'm just the Colorado guy who's like 20 hours driving distance from any convention. So
Oh my gosh, yeah.
yeah, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. That doesn't help things. Yeah, and I complain.
Chicago is. I can't remember. I'm gonna do Brick Slopes.
Okay.
That's the one in Portland, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. No, Cascades. Brick Cascades.
Cascades. Yeah, that makes more sense, doesn't it?
Sorry. So, if I show off my mocks, I have to rent a moving vehicle and drive for like 2.5, 3 days straight to get there.
And
that's overwhelming.
And not only that, it's the whole your teeth are worn down by the time you get there because you've been grinding them the whole time.
Hopefully nothing breaks, you know.
Dude, you've seen stuff break with me. I'm gonna get there. It's gonna be a mess. I'll just be like, guess we're putting it all back together now.
Yeah, you'll be pulling the full moto where everything's just all apart.
No, some models. You know, when I travel to our conventions, we're in Colorado, so you're driving for an hour anyway over railroad tracks and crud and stuff's getting slammed anyway.
Yeah.
So I have custom boxes that I put everything in.
Okay.
And the stuff that's fragile, I've started to craggle it because, quite honestly, it's a beautiful art model, but it's not. You guys know it's not designed for a 20-hour drive.
No,
not at all.
Potholes and railroad tracks and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to the physical community. You guys are so experienced in that. I'm more the virtual. That's where I live. I'm just excited that we've always got new folks coming in. And you know, it's just great to see all these cool guys like yourselves, you know, hanging out.
Thank you. Yeah.
And you know what the nice thing is, you get to meet new people too that are in the community that you would never even know are out there, you know, and you get to converse with these people, and it's awesome.
I give a shout out to
Pink
Bucket Nation from Bricksmith. I say, don't break anything along the way. That one's covered with stickers, and what is that on top? It's like.
So I'll get to that. Yep. So Pink Bucket Classic Space, Julian gave me these are all free stickers. This one I paid for. This is Logan from Tricky Bricks. Now I didn't even know who this sticker was.
Oh, I know who that is.
Got it.
Yeah.
And now I've gotten to know him, and he's one of my biggest fans. So it's good old Bricks O'Brien.
Yeah, Bricks O'Brien. I know him. So
and the MM and the Brick Fair, Virginia.
Yep.
Now this. I know I'm not handling it appropriately. I'm sorry, Shep. I'm really sorry. So this is a Shep.
Okay.
And I want to have you guys like at least check this person out. So one of my early favorite channels of all time, because it's just so, I can't explain it. It's called Deppy Shep Bricks, DEPYSHEP.
Okay.
Deppy Shep Bricks.
And you'll understand what this is when you watch Deppy Shep Bricks, because Deppy is a TFOL.
Okay.
Okay.
Because of age requirements, could not show their face on camera.
Okay.
So everything is done through Deppy and Tonto.
Oh, okay.
That's funny.
It's one of those, and just an awesome guy. You know, I'm on his Discord server. I love different aspects of the community. One aspect of the community I like is the TFOL side, and Deppy runs kind of a TFOL oriented Discord. So it's kind of like these really younger side of the community members and what they're doing on YouTube, and you know how they interact with the craft, because it's not all about AFOLs, right?
No.
There's Riley, who's nearly an AFOL. He's on the verge of becoming an AFOL, and then you have folks like Deppy, or you know, I'm not going to go through the list because there's so many guys. I'm going to offend someone by not calling them out. But they're just hanging out with their brand of just hilarious comedy. And his videos are short. That's what's beautiful. It's 5 minutes, man.
Nice.
Deppy, hilarious. Watch it. You know, laugh your butt off. You know,
Yeah,
it's silly, it's fun, and that's what it's about. You know, it's not a long format, well produced thing. It's not meant to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
But also kind of the do you guys know there's a period of time where you're not allowed to say that you're on the show, even though they've done a teaser on TV?
I don't know what that was.
No, we have no idea about that.
Okay,
I just couldn't tell. We just couldn't talk about the
process. They told us
addition.
not to talk us about the process until
no. I'm just telling you on the other side what happened.
Oh, on
Okay.
the other side, yeah, no. Yeah.
So the Masked Singer is airing, right? And they dropped the first Lego Masters teaser.
Okay.
Guess who was featured prominently in that teaser?
you.
Guess who's well known in the YouTube community?
You.
Guess how long it took before someone starts spoiling and saying that I'm on the show?
Probably instantaneously.
Nope, it took 5.5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's too long.
Tagged and posted on Facebook within 5.5 minutes.
That's quick, man. Oof.
So, but the downside is because they haven't made the official cast announcement.
Yes.
I can't tell anyone I'm on the show, and I have to straight up dodge it, left, right, and center. So there's this weird period between the teasers dropping and the community seeing my face and the reaction and everything, and cutting stills and making memes.
Yeah. That must have been hilarious. You probably seeing those things.
No, I mean, I had
stepping back and you can't do nothing. You're like,
no,
I don't know what
not
you're
only that.
talking about.
It was a process of waking up every morning, untagging myself from all this stuff.
Oh no, that must have been a nightmare.
And rolling it back off as much as I could.
Yeah.
And then, having my day, and then before I go to bed, untagging myself, doing a little circle. It wasn't like the first day was bad. That was like I had to message the folks at Fox and say I'm doing my best, but I'm dying here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but particularly just for the Deppy side of it, Deppy, these teenagers, they got a lot of time. So of course it was like bang snap, like, oh my God, Moto's in Lego Masters. Like Moto, they call me Moto Shep because everybody's named Shep on that server.
Yeah.
Moto Shep is and I get on Discord. I'm like, it was advanced deepfake technology. Believe none of it.
There you go. Yeah.
They CGI'd me in. It's all an illusion.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's an illusion.
Sure.
Nice. Yeah.
It was great. They were, you remember, that whole "it's Tabitha all along" wink meme that was going for a while.
No.
Anyway, there's this meme where she's winking, and it's totally like the yeah, right, totally.
Oh,
I got that meme like totally thrown back at me, like Moto's not on Lego Masters, and they had that. I was like, oh,
nice,
yeah,
little meme machines.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll wrap it down. I'm sorry, guys. I know.
No,
it's you guys
been
love
a pleasure.
talking.
What's that? Not a problem. No, it's fine. But we should probably. His wife's gonna kill him.
I'm dead. I have a wedding I have to shoot for 10
Jesus.
hours tomorrow, so she's probably
man.
"Why are you not home getting all your gear ready?"
Yeah, we could talk about it more. I'm a landscape photographer.
Oh, nice, awesome.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. So if you ever go through the Facebook or the Instagram and then wind up jumping into Flickr, you can see some of the fine art landscape stuff I used to do.
Definitely, I will be doing that for sure.
I do, yeah. If you're wondering why my mocks look photographed the way they are, it is because I do have the paper backdrop and the 4 light kit and the whole thing.
Awesome.
Going down.
Nice.
Cool.
I have a D850, so I'm a Nikon guy. I've got a D850 sitting out my garage. You're probably a Canon guy, and now we're not going to be friends anymore.
No, I'm Nikon and Sony, so that's where I'm at.
And I actually have a which I still need to learn how to use better, is a Fuji X100V. That's a cool.
Hey,
yeah.
Oh yeah, any camera, and he'll tell you the camera doesn't matter. It's the person in the lighting.
No, it's the person behind it.
I understand that.
Yep. It really is.
I've taken pictures with cell phones that people didn't like. That came from a cell phone. Like, it's how you take a picture, and lighting. Lighting is the biggest thing for me. Is like.
So we'll wrap it up, but you guys feel free to message me directly
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're still trying to get your usernames with the guys, but
Oh, we didn't. Yeah. I'm Brian.
I'm Steve.
no. I mean, literally, I get so many. I'm getting like
Oh,
a
gotcha.
IMs right now from like random places. I'm just like trying
Yeah.
to filter through the people
Oh,
that
yeah.
are legitimately talk to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if you remind me, you say, "Hey, you were on our show yesterday," and
Yep.
and I want your presentation on how to shoot Lego photography, or I've got all these Google presentations I've done for Denlug, and
Oh, nice,
that's
nice.
cool.
I can always send them out to you guys. You know,
Yeah,
one of them's like how to buy thrift Lego or how to buy Lego on the cheap. Another's like how to sort it like a boss. And another one's like how to store it on the cheap.
Wow, that's
Now
cool.
you guys are way behind the storage. You're way beyond what the storage thing is for.
Yeah.
Because mine's like an introductory, like you can imagine someone's coming to a lug for the first time.
Yeah. It's
They're like, how do you
be
store your
overwhelming
Lego?
at first.
You know, they have the innocent set. I've built a couple set eyes and they're into it. And how do you sort your,
Yeah.
how do you store your Lego?
Yeah.
Yep. And I go against the grain with the sorting with the people that are the Acro Mills fan and the
Me too.
Yeah. I don't use those at all. Oh, I don't go that low tech.
I'm at that level. Like I get like small little bins, and then half of the other stuff goes in the Ziploc bags. I do that.
So for small parts that I'm going to build with a lot of, we'll do this quick. I use these from Harbor Freight. They're
Awesome.
tilt ones, so the thing doesn't fall out and I lose the parts all over the floor. And I have them all secured to the wall.
Keep going. I can see.
And then I have these Sterilite containers. There we go. And this is the other one. So this one's not a good representation. Oh, geez. Wow. That's all the red, whatever color that is. Wow.
That's red sorted by type.
Nice.
So that's literally the red container.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
It's Ziploc bags with the air compressed out of them. So that's how I do my deep, dense storage. I do have small part containers like you guys do.
Yeah, he's got like
those things are fantastic.
These I love these because and on some of the cases, so I have like the 2x2 gray tiles. I have 2,000 of them, so it just fills the whole thing.
Well, that's where I have got like a my own brick pit. I've got an industrial rack system up.
Nice.
With these containers on them.
Jeez, yeah.
So I run to the brick pit and then I pull and then I get the gallon Ziploc and then I can finally fine grain, parts together, tray it, and then do the build. But yeah, it's definitely that concept.
I have a wall
you guys
over
gotta
it.
go. It's been a great evening.
Yes, it has.
It's awesome.
It has been. Thank you so much for joining us and
I probably should have been watching the comments. I guess
yeah. That's okay. I posted a bunch of them that were up there. So
Dennis
Robichaux. Yeah.
Robichaux.
The windmill is epic. I didn't design the windmill.
Wow, I'm seeing so many names I have never met before. This
Mark
is so
Sapio
cool.
goes to Philly Brickfest.
Yeah, he does the.
Well, he watched Mel, so he must be watching Mel. I'm just not putting the name together.
Yeah. And then there was brother from another.
I'm sorry, Mark. You must have. He says, "I remember you building that." Wow, he must have seen me somewhere. I'm just not connecting the dots.
There's so many people out there. It's hard to keep track. I totally understand.
Oh, I'm beginning to understand.
Yes.
It's like every UFO in the world is now finding me on Facebook or something and like getting friend requests, and it's really wild to think that. I don't know, guys. It's like I know it's going to happen, but I have not accepted the fact that if I go to a major convention and I just
get
swarmed.
People are going to recognize you. That's just maybe they'll come up. Who knows? But
you get swarmed. Prepare for it. I'd imagine.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think you. Well,
I better start. Oh, that's okay. I've got my ninja throwing stars ready.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm
I'm just going to shuriken them.
Did you post that recently? Did you post that recently? Because I saw that somewhere recently. It might have been you.
That?
Yeah, I saw one of those.
Probably. I post so much crap now I can't even keep up with my.
He's like, I don't remember what I did 3 hours ago. You remember me?
Yeah.
This was so 3 days ago.
Yeah, see, he doesn't remember that was 3 days ago. It's off.
That was like last week.
You're like a machine. You just pump out stuff, and
Yeah. Well, there's a reason they call me Moto.
there you go.
That's a joke. That's a joke. I was an android designed by Justin Ramsden to produce mocks.
Nice.
And on that note, that's where we'll head off.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And we'll have
Always
to
be
do
well.
we'll have to do this again
Yeah,
sometime.
we'll keep in
maybe
touch for
maybe
sure.
we'll build something or do something building on the show instead of just like a chat and a build would be kind of cool.
We'll see.
Build and chat would be cool because I really should be working on stuff.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And so should I actually. Because if I want a chance on getting on the show, the one criticism they told us out of everything, they liked everything, was like, we need to build more.
Build
more. So.
Well, yeah, just build, like I said, do something different in a different technique and style
Yes.
every time until you've got it down.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Literally put in the couple of
Good
hundred
method.
of hours it takes to get it right the first time.
Yep.
And then once you've got that down and it's in your repertoire,
Yeah.
you start to
You want to put
combine
different
those techniques
techniques.
together, and it just
Yes.
helps you
Yeah.
elevate your game very quickly.
Yes.
Because remember, you don't have a lot of time.
No,
You
you
don't have a
don't.
lot of time.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're on the right
Alright.
track. See you later.
Thank you.
Hey.
Have a good one.
Yep, bye.
But
All right. Take it easy, guys.
what have you built today?